Noon. We got a lot to get into today. We got a lot to tell you about, including a big event coming up on Friday that we want everyone to be a part of. We got tickets to give away. Dave Chappelle, maybe the biggest tickets we've ever given away on this show. We're going to do it via the talkback mic. We'll tell you how you win those in just a second. And we have a Padres loss to react to from last night. A lot of people saying worst loss of the season. I don't know about that, but it was an ugly loss. It was a damn ugly loss that I felt like they won the game 2 or 3 times and still ended up losing it. We also may have a special guest stopping by the show today. We will see. With all that being said, Sammy, you ready to have a great show?
I am. I told you I'd hit a long shot winner last night, and I did. So you're welcome. If you followed everything, I hope you squad rode, and we're all getting paid here on a Wednesday.
I had a text going with a buddy of mine who listens pretty much every day, and I said, "How long do you think it'll take Sammy to acknowledge that he had a long shot?"
What did he say?
Winner last night. He said it'll be within the first sentence that he says.
I'm glad I cashed the under for him.
Correct. And it was the first sentence. And congratulations, Sammy. Yes, we all won money last night. If you were following along with long shots, it was a big winner. We'll have a new one coming up at 12:45 today. All right, question for the talkback mic today. Sammy and I were having some fun discussing this before the show. If you want to win Dave Chappelle tickets, we need you to listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Open it up, search San Diego Sports 760. And while you're there, tap the little red microphone icon. That gets you through to the talkback mic. And the question we are asking today, what is the pinnacle of sport? What is that moment that you would want if you were somehow a professional athlete? Is it a massive knockout in boxing or the UFC? Is it a buzzer-beating three-pointer to win the game? Is it a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning? Bases loaded, walk-off grand slam. What is that one moment that you would want to have if you were a professional athlete in the world of sports? Leave us a talkback. We'll pick a random winner. We'll announce that coming up in hour number 2. Everyone who leaves a talkback today is eligible to win those Dave Chappelle tickets. He's coming to Viejas Arena on June 21st. All right, let's get into it. Last night, Padres, they lose to the Reds in extra innings. Late game, man. I feel like I've been struggling for sleep all day because I was up watching this one late into the night last night, and they had their opportunities, right? And we're going to point at the Manny Machado, bottom of the 9th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. What does Manny Machado do? Swings at a couple balls, ends up striking out in the at-bat. Gavin Sheets follows it up with another strikeout. It's like the Padres had opportunity after opportunity last night. The Manny Machado one is the one getting all the headlines. Let's be very clear, everybody. They were 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position yesterday. You know what teams are this season when they have at least 20 at-bats with runners in scoring position? They're 14-3. The Padres, one of the 3 losses. It's a pretty inexcusable loss, if you ask me. It's more of the same. And when you look at it, it's tough to break down and tell you there was a loss worse than last night for the Padres. But man, that was rough watching in the 9th inning when the momentum was there. You had single after single after single. You had the bases loaded with your guy up at the plate. And Manny Machado, once again, with less than 2 outs, does not come through for the Padres. It's a ground ball. It's a pop-up. Anything gets them out of that jam and wins the game for the Padres. And he strikes out, doing the one thing you couldn't do.
You said teams are 14-3 when they have 20 chances with runners in scoring position. I wonder if Manny Machado probably didn't see that stat. He doesn't like stats.
No stats with Manny. Are you crazy?
No, just no production as well. I mean, it's last night was bad. You think it can't get any worse? It keeps getting worse. And we keep talking about how this team, like, what is it with them also at home winning game ones and then faltering? I mean, hopefully they come through today. Now maybe they come back and win the series, and this is a moot point. The Cubs, they lose game 1, or they win game 1, they lose the next 2. The Dodgers, they win game 1, lose the next 2. It feels like it is just deja vu all over again. And this team is flailing right now, and they cannot beat any good teams over a series. Now, hopefully that changes today. The Reds are a decent team in the wild card hunt, but the fact that you're not even looking at a sweep today, I mean, they're missing Ellie De La Cruz, their best player. They have one of, if not the worst bullpen in all of baseball. And you have a chance in the 9th inning, 1 out, bases loaded. That's getting headlines, and everything else is anemic. I mean, why is it when you're watching the game that Samad Taylor, you feel confident in coming through in the 10th inning, and credit to him because the young outfielders between him and Bowen are pretty fun to watch. And when the top of the order is up, there is just, I don't know about everyone else, there is not a lot of faith when they come up. And I mean, they can't get this together at home. How congested the NL is, they are losing tiebreakers, or at least early tiebreakers, against a lot of teams that matter. And this thing, like, It is not, it's the beginning of June. This thing is kind of spiraling out of control. And considering that the schedule coming up with the Dodgers twice, the Braves, the Cubs, it doesn't get easier. You're not just playing crap teams for the next month. It's disappointing right now. And it feels like the Padres are just kind of lost at sea.
I'm glad you brought that up about Samad Taylor. I put out a tweet last night where I was like, Samad Taylor is energy. And it was after he hit that the base hit in extra innings to score. I believe Gavin Sheets was the runner on second base, but to tie the game back up in extras. And when Samad Taylor did that, like, did you see the passion he had when he was standing at second base after he stole second? Did you see how he was looking back to the dugout and getting everybody fired up? Where has that been from Manny and Fernando and Jackson? Like, I get they haven't had the same opportunity to do the same thing, but maybe it's kind of,
they've had opportunities,
but it's the doing the one thing might lead to some other things, right? Like the energy and the passion and the love for baseball seems to have left the building when it comes to the Padres' big 3 or 4. I know Xander's on paternity leave, but the rest of them, like maybe it's a little bit of column A leads to column B for the Padres. And we just have not seen very much energy or enthusiasm. And the whole Pouty Nando conversation that we had preseason this year, unfortunately was just a prophecy that just came true. And it's been the case for the majority of the season. And he played well last night. Like he had
4 hits
last night. But it's still not coming through when it matters is all that matters. And
I mean, like
Manny Machado did not come through. Hasn't come through.
Fernando at least had 4 hits. Manny, I know, had 2 hits last night, but unexcusable. He in the 9th inning didn't even have to get a hit. He just had to get the ball to the outfield and
just get a good at bat out of it. Hell, he's swinging at changeups in the dirt.
I mean, it's just they're so lost, and it's frustrating because whereas a month ago we were looking at, hey, could this team win the NL West? Could this team? Where could this team add with AJ Preller, work at his magic to try to kind of get over the hump? And now it's a real conversation. Are you selling off at the deadline? Because this is a large sample size. This is not a bad week or a couple bad series. This is a month of really bad play since that Dodger series started. And I just you're getting to the point. It's like, do they have it in them? Are they just that talented? Because we're past the point of slumps for Manny Machado. Like we're past he's not playing well for a week. Like he has not been good all year, and we have 2.5 months of data, and it's not like it's going to get any better. It's like he's not getting any younger.
Right. How many times have we crushed Manny on this show? And I said, well, after saying that, he's probably going to go on a run here for the next week and a half where he looks amazing. It hasn't happened yet. So maybe it happens today, but it hasn't happened yet. And we're going to need to see it sooner rather than later. All right, let's get to the big 3 of our number 1. Reminder, Dave Chappelle tickets will be given away on this show today. Dave Chappelle doesn't have bad performances. Dave Chappelle is always hitting. So if you want to see him on June 21st at Viejas Arena, you got to leave us a talk back. What is that moment in sports? Is it a buzzer-beating 3-pointer, a knockout punch? What is it in sports that you love more than anything? The pinnacle of sports, we're calling it. Tell us that on the talkback mic. You may win Dave Chappelle tickets. Sammy, smash.
Maybe. Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
All right, text line is open, 70470. Start your message with team. YouTube as well at San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, where are we starting today?
We got the NBA Finals tonight. Game 4. Stephon Castle said, I expect us to win the next 3. Are you buying the confidence from the young guard out of UConn?
I got Knicks in 5. Is that crazy to say? I kind of got Knicks in 5.
Okay, wow.
So I do think New York gets it done tonight. The Spurs, I came into this series thinking were wildly talented. I think a lot of game 3 had to do with the first game back at MSG, with the expectation, with the crowd, with everything involved. Like Jalen Brunson was taking flat out uncharacteristic shots in game 3. And I think that translated to a lot of the Knicks. I think everyone settles down a little bit tonight. I don't know what the spread is on tonight's game, but I got Knicks covering.
So it opened as a 1.5 in favor of the Knicks. It's been bet up to 2.5. All the money's coming down New York.
I would be okay if it was -5.5 for the Knicks. I really think I would. I think the Knicks win kind of easily tonight. I think they win a close one back in San Antonio, and they finish everything up back home.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, because this is a weird series in that the Spurs have had double-digit leads in every game. They've had leads in the final 2 minutes of every game. And the Knicks, I think, 100% won game 1. They outplayed San Antonio in that game. De'Aaron Fox was terrible in that game. Game 2, if we remember, the Knicks got the big lead, and then they came all the way back. The Spurs outplayed in that fourth quarter, and I give the Knicks credit. It's about trying to win the game and advancing, or at least winning in the series. And the Knicks were able to do that. Wemby, the shot rims out. It's tough to kind of handicap because if you're pro Knicks for the rest of the series, you go, I don't think Karl Anthony Towns has 0 points and 1 assist again in the fourth quarter, which he had in game 3. You're thinking Jalen Brunson has a bit of a bounce back. If you're pro Spurs, I think you look at De'Aaron Fox started to play better. He had 20 points in game 2, hit a couple key buckets down the stretch there in game 3. And if they win this game tonight, I mean, home court flips. I still think the Knicks win the series, but I don't think it's Knicks in 5. I think the Spurs actually push this thing a little ways. And I appreciate the confidence from Stephon Castle. Like, he's a young player, and he's probably been the most, like, him and Wemby have been extremely calm, and they're the youngest 2 players on their team. So I give Castle a lot of props for being out there.
I did see someone breaking down Stephon Castle's little hesitation move when he gets into the lane and near the basket. And it is crazy when you see like kind of a new play developed in basketball, and his is so different from everyone. It's kind of like watching Le'Veon Bell when he first came on the scene doing the hesitation behind the line.
Right, no one ever seen it before.
Yeah, like Stephon Castle just so smooth with it. What's next, Sammy?
All right, let's go to the World Cup, 24 hours out. Team USA manager Mauricio Pochettino said the USA can win the World Cup despite not having a top 100 players. They ranked on ESPN a top 100 players of the World Cup. Pulisic was the top player at 116. Do you like the confidence, like the comments from Mauricio Pochettino ahead of the USA's debut on Friday?
I think 2 things about it. Like, what else is he going to say? First and foremost, you're never going to say you're going into a tournament thinking, oh, we have no chance of winning this thing. Of course, Pochettino is going to say that. But realistically, if we're talking about it, USA probably doesn't have much of a shot to win the World Cup. I think they have a shot to crack the final 8. And if you can get there, I deem that a huge success. So I love the confidence. I love that Team USA is playing better. I'm rooting like crazy for them. We're going to be out in Little Italy at the Piazza della Famiglia with a huge watch party with thousands of people here in San Diego. And I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be an incredible run. And I'm hoping that they dominate group stage and they can get to a point where they're facing one of the favorites in the knockout round. And that's who you go down to, right? Someone who you can definitely see being there for the final day.
I like the vibe that Pochettino has brought. Like, over the last couple matches against Senegal and Germany, like he's getting after these dudes. Like, there is no, and this is a guy who had a big career at Tottenham and Chelsea, like a very esteemed manager over in the Premier League. And right, to win the World Cup, the chances of that happening, I mean, that would be one of the great runs of any sport in history. The U.S. are just probably not talented enough when you have Spain. And
I'm here for it. I'd love to see it.
Well, of course, everyone would love to see it. But, I mean, Pulisic's the U.S. best player. He might slot in as off the bench for Spain or be like their 8th best player. So it's a massive uphill battle. But Pochettino's got after it. And I do think this U.S. team is a little sneaky in that everyone kind of circled this World Cup as the U.S.'s potential breakout, because last in 2022, they were one of the youngest teams in Qatar when they went. They got out of the group stage, but then they lost to the Netherlands. You know, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna, they got a pretty good group of guys, and certainly they have to get out of the knockout round. And I think you have to win a knockout round or 2, because the last time the U.S. won a knockout game was 2002 against Mexico. I mean, that's 24 years, pretty crazy. So I do think winning a couple rounds on home soil would do a lot for U.S. soccer.
By the way, here on San Diego Sports 760, we are your home for the World Cup in San Diego. We got live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get daily match updates from the opening match to the final on July 19th. Hear live play-by-play of the most anticipated games and every Team USA match. The 2026 World Cup coverage lives on San Diego Sports 760. And of course, if you are like most people in San Diego and somehow have Friday afternoons off, we would love to invite you down to the Piazza della Famiglia in Little Italy so we can hang out. There's going to be a ton of people there, massive screens outside to watch World Cup games. I think, Sammy, you and I will be broadcasting during the Canada game, and then Team USA is at 6 o'clock Friday night.
Sir, 6 o'clock.
Get on down there. Let's watch it together. Can't wait for it. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Quick break here. We got some sound from Manny Machado, or from Craig Stammen talking about Manny Machado, that we're going to play for you coming up. That's going to, I don't know, probably boil some blood here around San Diego. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
I'd say the pinnacle of sports would be running back a kickoff return for a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl as time is running off the clock. That said, I'd also be just as happy playing a pickup game of basketball with Prince and the Revolution in his backyard.
Amen to that.
That's good stuff from our buddy Scott. Thank you for listening to the show, man. And you are in the running to win a pair of tickets to go see Dave Chappelle June 21st at Viejas Arena. Get your tickets now at livenation.com. They will sell out, so get them now before they're gone. And if you want to jump in the running to win Dave Chappelle tickets, you just got to do what Scott just did. Tell us what the pinnacle of sport is. A big knockout and a heavyweight world championship fight. Is it hitting a last-second three-pointer at the buzzer? You know, the backyard basketball type of thing where you're counting it down yourself?
Throw it off the backboard to yourself.
5, 4, 3, 2. And
what was
the shot?
What would yours be?
You know, I actually had a chance to hit a buzzer beater layup in high school and I missed it and it would have won the game. And we were undefeated at that point and I missed it.
Does it still haunt you in your dreams?
Sometimes.
You think about it, it pops up. It's like, there was this night.
It was, man. It was a daytime 2008 game, actually. Would have been like probably 2011.
2011.
Rough
night
day.
Game. All the pressure spot. Ben Fletcher.
I think we were 11-0 and we were down by 1. Final seconds. I got an offensive rebound, put it back up and missed it off the right side of the hoop. Not of the hoop, of the rim.
I never got to play, so I never had any moments like that. I was good at warming seats. I mean, really, I would arrange those chairs well, better than anyone. I was Adam
Sandler testing the temperature of the water, making sure it was ready to go.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got Darren Smith jumping on at 1:30. He's going to be talking some World Cup with us. Looking forward to that.
I hope Darren gives us some betting insights.
I would hope so too. I know Darren, I think just got done recording with Marty talking Padres, so he may be exhausted and worn out about talking about Manny Machado and Craig Stammen.
This is a big week though for Darren with his Knicks, the World Cup starting.
I always forget Darren's like a huge Knicks and St. John's fan.
He's a massive Knicks fan.
He loves him some St. Johnny's basketball too. When they started going on a run, I remember texting Darren. He was losing his mind. All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. You just heard that talk back from Scott. It's that easy to win a pair of tickets to Dave Chappelle. If you want to weigh in on talkbacks on other stuff, though, too, like if you have thoughts on Padres, we'd love to hear those. I know Handyman Matt dropped us the talkback. Now, I believe Handyman Matt's a Phillies fan, but he has some insight on the world of the Padres. Let's hear it.
What's going on, gentlemen? This Padres team currently is tragically flawed. You can start Taylor or Bowen, not both. They need to go to France at second base, eventually Cronenworth, Sheets in right, Taylor or Bowen in left, Tatis back in right field. This nonsense of him playing second base, nah. Song's got to play second, Cronenworth or France. And you can start Taylor or Bowen, not both. Handyman Matt, out.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here every day. Now, I will say, without Bowen and Taylor in the lineup 2 days ago, they don't win game 1 against the Reds. So who's providing energy to this team now?
I would
Samad Taylor's the dude.
Like, shout out to Handyman Matt, but I disagree. I think you play the guys that look like they want to be there. I mean, Samad Taylor and Jace Bowen giving energy. Samad Taylor's on a torrid start. It's not like anyone else is hitting.
Right.
So, I mean, this whole with no Ramon Laureano, now he's injured. I look, play the kids. If it doesn't work out, you send it back down. If it does work out and this team is somehow still in a place where they're pining for a playoff spot or they feel like they can make a run in the postseason, then playing the guys who you would be trading, by the way, is also good. Because other GMs can get a look at them and go, oh, okay, all right, this is Samad Taylor. I'm not saying you're just playing him to trade him, but I mean, what's the point of running veterans out there who consistently are not hitting and just like look lost? It's not like they have trade value in the future. I'd play the kids.
I would too. Looking at the lineup today, I'm honestly surprised Manny's playing again today. But I guess after what Stammen said last night, which we'll play for you on the other side, you can't take him out of the lineup right now. You just said everything. So today, Tatis, Merrill, Machado, Sheets, Wagner, who just got called up to replace Ramon Laureano. Samad Taylor is going to be playing Bryce Johnson in right field. Durant is catching, which I'm all for. I think he's good. Song is playing short. King is on the mound.
Well,
like I look at that and I just think, well, get someone a day off. Like I get it. The injury bug has popped up a little bit. Laureano, Andahar. But get Manny or Merrill or Tatis, get them a day off, get them out of their head, man, because clearly something is off.
There is no excuse to lose this game today. You have the pitching
I
advantage.
agree.
You were at home. Michael King is a much better pitcher than Brady Singer. I know King has struggled a little bit recently, but I don't really put that as much on King. I put that as much on the fact that the offense is giving you nothing.
How about pick a pitcher up one time?
Right, like
how about put a 7 spot up there and see if Michael King loses that game?
The only game I was coming to mind where the offense bailed out the pitching staff was that first Cubs game. I believe they won like 7-6, something like that. And it was at home, and it was nice to see them actually win a different way besides 2-1, 3-0. Like they actually bailed out their pitcher. So I hear some criticism around Michael King. Has he been perfect? No. But when you ask a guy to be perfect every outing, you're putting them in a rough spot. A pitcher's going to have bad nights throughout the season. So this is on the offense. Brady Singer's got almost a 6 ERA. There is zero excuse for why the bats should not come alive today.
No, I will say, like, the San Francisco Giants are the opposite of this right now. I just saw this stat get pulled up. In the last 30 days in Major League Baseball, the Giants are first in batting average, first in slug, first in OPS, first in hits, and they were 11-17 during that 30-day stretch. Now, the Giants have the opposite problem of the Padres. Their offense is ripping it right now. They're playing great. Their pitching can't hold anything. I think they have 8 or 9 blown saves over the last month. So it's like you look at it and yeah, there's different problems for different teams. The Padres problem feels a lot less fixable to me.
Right. You can add pitching. You can add bullpen help at a deadline. You can't add all-star sluggers.
Well, and the people who you need to play are eating up your entire salary. That's the biggest problem.
Right.
Like Manny Machado is eating up a massive chunk this year. By the way, that chunk gets bigger next year and the rest of this contract. Like it's going to get worse, which is the biggest problem. All right, Craig Stammen somehow was defending Manny Machado after last night's game. You will hear that audio coming up next. Plus, we'll play some more of your talkbacks. Keep those coming in. What is the pinnacle of sport? We had Scott who said running back a kickoff return for a touchdown as a game winner is the pinnacle. What is yours? It's San Diego Sports 760. If you listen on the free iHeartRadio app, tap that talkback mic. That is how you win Dave Chappelle tickets today. We'll be right back.
The sport is sponsored by eBay. Padres getting going here in about 40 minutes. Brady Singer will be on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Michael King will be going for the Padres. We got NBA Finals Game 4 tonight as the Spurs look to even the series against the New York Knicks. The Knicks open as a 1.5 point favorite that has been bet up to 2.5. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Carolina Hurricanes got a big win last night in Las Vegas to even that series. They'll be back in Carolina for Game 5. Jordan Stahl had 2 goals on the night. eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, or the foul ball you heroically gave away, it's all there on eBay. eBay, things people love.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Hey, reminder, this Friday, if you don't have lunch plans yet, now you do. Get on out to Little Italy, the Piazza della Familia. We're going to be out there broadcasting live, getting ready for the World Cup. Team USA plays at 6 o'clock Friday night. We'll get a full preview with D. Smith coming up at 1:30. But this is your invite. Come on out, hang out, have lunch, eat some Italian food, drink some beer, and watch some World Cup games with us.
Tell your boss you're on a break.
Yeah. Or Sammy will forge you an excuse letter.
I'll write you a doctor's note.
Yeah, he's got a prescription pad back there, probably.
Prescription pad. I can neither confirm nor deny what is in this studio back here. Were you a guy who got a lot of tardies at school?
Never.
I see. I got so many slips for being tardy that they just stopped giving them to me.
What were you doing?
I was never like crazy late. I feel like there were better uses of my time.
Sammy was doing his hair. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, it's like
he's got to get it just right.
In the words of David Lee Roth, it's better to look good than to feel good. So I could show up 5 minutes early, and then I'm sitting here all day going, my hair doesn't look right. Or I could be 5 minutes late because honestly, be more interesting if I'm going to get there on time and then make sure the hair is looking good.
That is what I liked about college a lot, because as long as you passed the test in college, you were all good. There wasn't like homework. It was just literally getting ready for the final or projects that are due. And
I had a teacher who...
You don't have to go to class in college as long as you pass everything.
I had a teacher at San Diego State whose name will remain nameless, who does not like me and I don't like him, who took attendance a minute into class like it was high school.
Oh, that's crazy.
One time we brought up to him, we're like, we're paying to be here, right? Like, this is not high school where you make us come. Was running his class like a high school, took attendance every day, took marks off your grade. I was like, man, I dropped that class.
Yeah, that's soft behavior. As long as you pass the test, you should be good to go. All right, it is San Diego Sports 760. We just got an incredible talk back because we're giving away some Dave Chappelle tickets. So if you're looking to win them, you got to leave us a talk back. We're asking for the pinnacle of sport. Take a listen to this.
My pinnacle moment would probably be winning the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Your opponent hits you with his finishing move, but you somehow kick out, the whole crowd screaming, and then you have a couple reversals, and then you nail him with, the stunner, and then all of a sudden the crowd goes wild with that cheering 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 with your hand raised.
Can you smell?
Yeah.
What The Rock is cooking?
You know what I love about that talkback?
Tell me about it.
Is
he put himself in that moment?
Yes, and I could tell it was thought about before.
Oh, for sure.
It was 100% thought about before. So we heard the talkback question. He's like, I'm ready to go.
I believe that's Mario. Mario, thank you for listening.
Shout out to Mario.
Thank you for being here. And I could tell you've thought about that one a couple different times. You've had your plan picked out. Mario, in fact, text us. What is your wrestling name? What is your pro wrestling name? It's got to be something wacky. So 70470, start your message with team or leave us another talk back. We'd love to hear what your wrestling name is because I know you thought about it. All right. After the game last night, we kind of cataloged what happened during the Padres game last night. The ninth inning, bottom of the ninth, Manny Machado comes out, 1 out, bases loaded. All he has to do is put a ball in the sky. Literally a pop up to shallow right field. Game's over. Padres win. Everyone goes home happy. We don't have nearly the conversations we've had today about the fact that they were 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position, which is the worst I've ever seen. We don't have to have these conversations about Lucas Giolito, who didn't give the bullpen a night off at all. We don't have to have these conversations about the fact that, Fernando got 4 meaningless hits last night. No, instead the conversation is the Padres were 3 for 20 and the Padres superstar, the highest paid player on the team, could not come through once again in the moment. Don't tell Craig Stammen that, because if you listen to what he had to say after the game, there's no one he'd rather have up in that situation.
Yeah, and I'll put Manny in those situations tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the rest of the season. Yeah, I trust him more. I trust all of our guys, but I would put him in that situation over many, many, many others. And I'm sure other managers would do the same thing on their team. But for me personally, nobody would rather have to play.
Sammy, you told me before the show, do you have that number pulled up of what Manny Machado's lifetime career postseason average is?
It is 209. He's a 209 career batting average in the postseason between his time with the Dodgers, Orioles, and Padres.
He doesn't like stats. So can you just tell everybody, no, don't put a number on it. Just say good or bad for that postseason.
Not great.
Not great?
Not great.
Okay. 209.
Usually guys who hit 209 in the postseason don't end up playing in the postseason the next year, or their postseason runs are very short.
No, I'll also just throw this out there. And I can't tell you how many countless times we've had this conversation on the air about a situation like last night, where it doesn't have to necessarily be the bottom of the ninth inning. It could be just a pivotal moment in the game. We all know baseball has one or two moments that defines the outcome of a game. And Manny Machado's been at the plate for a lot of them in a San Diego Padres uniform. And maybe it's just me thinking anecdotally, maybe it's having a little recency bias. I can't name too many times where he's come through. The conversation is much more often this, where Manny Machado once again does not come through in a big moment. I'm telling you, you could talk about the clutch gene leaving the Padres. We could talk about the 24 straight scoreless innings against the Dodgers in 2024, maybe their best chance to win a World Series. But I'm just telling you, regular season, random ass game, Tuesday night against the Reds. I can think of a million of these situations where Manny Machado does not come through. If I'm Craig Stammen, I don't even mention who I would want up at the plate last night. Like, that is a conversation I just kind of avoid. I got faith in all our guys, but having faith in Manny is not a situation that's worked out well for the Padres.
Well, I think the rookie part of what Craig Stammen did there, look, he's defending his guy, and
which is fine.
Just like we talked about Sam Presti, the Oklahoma City GM yesterday, defending Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, talking about how social media is hard on him, yada, yada, yada. But where Craig Stammen went too far there with that clip, he could have just stopped and said, I have faith in Manny Machado to come through next time. Okay, great. He said, I would choose him above a lot of guys.
Give me some Odd Taylor every day of the week.
Right. He was kind of insinuating guys around the league and on the Padres. And if you take away the name brand of Manny Machado has been one of the worst players outside of Jake Cronenworth, or maybe the worst player on the team this year. You take away the name brand of Manny Machado outside of his home runs. I believe he has 9, which is decent. I guess.
I think he has 11.
Okay, 11. All right. So compared to Fernando Tatis, that's a decent number, but
he's beaten him by 100%.
I mean, but outside of that, he has had a putrid year, and right. It's just like Craig Stammen. It just shows his youth. He didn't have to make something of that. And Manny Machado, if you look back at his career, right, what is that pinnacle Manny moment? Because Fernando, for all the not hitting home runs, the struggles to the plate, Fernando Tatis had some big series. Fernando Tatis, when they beat the Dodgers 2022, was very good. Manny was good in that series. In 2024, Manny Machado hit a home run in the first game. Besides that, did basically nothing. And no, I don't want to hear about how in game 5 he hit 2 to the warning track. You do not get paid $25 million to hit balls to the warning track. Okay. Do you think when Mookie Betts hit it and Profar robbed it at the track, people in LA are like, hey, good job, Mookie, for hitting to the track? Absolutely not. And then we go back to last year against the Cubs, 2 for 22 combined with Fernando Tatis. I know he had the home run in game 2, but besides that, it just really hasn't been there. And at least with Fernando, he's young. And to Fernando's credit, even though the power hasn't been there, he did have 4 hits last night. We've seen him getting on base more frequently the last few weeks. Has it always been the prettiest swings and the Fernando Tatis we're used to seeing? No, but I give Fernando some credit for turning around. Manny looks like, per what Coach Contreras said on our show last week, the bat speed is not quite there anymore, and this is why you're seeing the batting average take an absolute nosedive.
Look, it'd be one thing if Manny Machado was just having a rough season by Manny Machado standards. It'd be one thing if he wasn't, just playing quite up to what he's been. We all expect a bit of a decline. He's getting older, and that's what happens. He's actively getting in the way of Padres wins at this point. Having Manny Machado on your team is leading to a worse record for the Padres at this point. So to that end, why not put him down for a couple of days?
And to that end, think about last night. Could have won the game. Let's go back 2 weeks ago. Remember that first game against the Phillies, that Monday game?
Sure.
2 opportunities, I believe, with bases loaded, or he had 6 runners in scoring position, something like that. He had multiple opportunities.
Right. I think he had the quote after the game. He left 6 runners in scoring position.
He left 6 runners in scoring position. So, I mean, these are multiple in the Padres. This is not like years past where it was the Dodgers, the Padres trying to catch, the Padres next, and then everybody else, because the Diamondbacks were in Giants and Rockies are kind of flailing. This NL is stacked. Like, there is not time to waste to just be messing around for weeks and months on end, like you have a lot typically in Major League Baseball seasons. Because of how congested the NL is, these losses really hurt, and you're just losing series. Hopefully they win the series today, but they've lost a lot of series against teams they're going to need tiebreakers over in the NL. It really they need to win today. There's no other way to put it. They need to win today.
I would agree. All right. Hey, our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. You can win tickets before you can buy tickets. Live performances by the Goo Goo Dolls, Kenny Chesney, Lainey Wilson, Snoop D-O Double G, Weezer, and more. September 18th and 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Today, the Capital One cardholder presale it started. So you can add an access pass for an exclusive pre-concert event with Weezer, 48 hours while they last. They are on sale now at iHeartRadio.com/Capital One. General on public sale will begin this Friday at 11 a.m. So if you're a Capital One cardholder, you got access to tickets right now. Go get them at iHeartRadio.com/Capital One. Are we playing some Shake Your Money Maker on the way back?
You know we are.
Oh my God. We have money in the account, baby. Long Shots was a winner last night. Let's see if we can go streaking like Frank the Tank at San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. How does winning $25,000 sound to you? Well, you can join Valley View Casino and Hotel for Dave's $250,000 weekend windfall happening this Friday night. You can be one of 10 guests who spins to win $25,000. 10 guests are going to win it. Plus, more play is going to be awarded throughout the night. And you can earn entries all month long through slot or table game. Activate your entry multiplier at the guest service kiosk on Friday night from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. for your chance to win. All Players Club members are eligible, which means I'm eligible. Sammy's eligible. If you have your Players Club card at Valley View Casino and Hotel, you are eligible too. If you don't have it yet, signing up is quick, easy, and free. And when you join that Players Club, you're going to get over $200 in free offers to use at San Diego's favorite casino. We're talking about free offers like More Play, which is free slot play, Match Play, which is free table game play, $20 to the Black and Blue Steakhouse, $10 off your meal at Patties and Pints, and the list really does just go on and on and on. Get on out to the Valley View Casino Hotel today. Join the Players Club right now so you can use it on all your favorite slots and table games, and the more you use it, the more rewards you get, like entrance into the Dave's $250,000 weekend windfall, and like free hotel stays, free dining, luxury gifts, invitations to exclusive events, and more. Don't miss out. Visit Valley View Casino and Hotel on June 12th, this Friday, for Dave's $250,000 weekend windfall. And join the Ultimate Players Club to get over $200 in free offers today. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants. Yes, Sammy's a winner, so he gets to play his theme song. We all made money last night. I know some of you were tempted to cash out when it was 7-5 in the 6th inning between the A's and whoever the A's were playing, but you didn't cash out, and we all won money.
How about that? How about the ball flying out of the yard in Vegas? But it was just, I'm telling you, the over-under was set at 11.5. They bet it up to 13. The public got to go against the public.
They finished at 12. It was close. I'll be honest. My finger hovered over the cash out button for a little bit.
But you didn't.
But I didn't because I have hashtag.
I'm proud of you.
Faith in Sammy. All right. 484 texted into the show, said, Fletcher burying the lead. How are you not all over the Coors tall can? 36 ounces in an 18-inch tall can. I did see that. It's only available for purchase on CoorsLight.com, I believe. But Coors is releasing a massive, massive beer can in honor of the World Cup. And it's a Coors Light taller boy.
Nice.
It's like $30. I'm going to buy one.
You get it. You have to order it online, or is it in stores?
I think you have to order it online. I think that's what I saw, but it's like commemorative. I don't even know if there's beer in the damn thing. It just looks cool as hell. 858 says streaking. That's because of long shots with Sammy. 619. We all hate the Dodgers, but one thing they're very good at is the selection of good players on both the field and in the clubhouse. It should be noted that Manny played for them last, and they passed on him, as did many other teams, including the Phillies. Thank God. So we shouldn't be surprised with what we have from Brian.
Does tell you something. Dodgers, to that end, the Dodgers have done an excellent job of seeing big time players that have come through and put on that jersey. Manny Machado, Trey Turner, Corey Seager. I guess you could debate if that was good to let him go because he did get a World Series with the Rangers. But
who's the stoner dude? Won an MVP
Cody
with
Bellinger.
the Dodgers. Bellinger.
And then he sucked at the end of his career for the Dodgers, then was good for the Cubs and the Yankees. But the Dodgers, the underrated part about the Dodgers, because like obviously the headlines of paying the stars, Ohtani, Betts, Freddie, paying a bunch of money everywhere, is like you look back to that World Series, Miguel Rojas, they don't win without him. They don't win without Andy Paez making that catch. Andy Paez has probably been their best hitter all year. So the Dodgers' development of talent is really something that doesn't get talked about enough. And when you pair the resources they have with that development, they're a tough team to beat.
I've been born and bred from my grandfather, from my dad, from everyone in my family to hate the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I do. That doesn't mean that Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman aren't damn likable. And they got a lot of money, and it's worked out very well for the Dodgers. And Freddie Freeman, what is he, 36, 37 years old?
Mm-hmm.
How old's Manny? I think that tells you all you need to know. Freddie Freeman's playing some damn good baseball still.
Right.
Did he hit some
Good
other
point.
milestone last night?
Oh yeah, he hit his.
He's
I
up to
forgot what that
something.
was.
I saw
Some
a
hit
stupid
number.
ESPN post on Instagram that just loves the Dodgers so much.
Dodgers shelled the Pirates last night. I mean, shelled them.
Can we
in the
talk about the
seventh
way
inning.
that like the ESPN Instagram accounts handle the Dodgers? Because it's a little outrageous. Like, I get it, they're good. I get it, they've won the World Series for the last 2 years. I get it, they have Shohei Ohtani, who's great for clicks. But the amount of just ass kissing that goes on the Instagram of SportsCenter and ESPN to the Los Angeles Dodgers is sickening. All right, let's get to long shots today. We won yesterday. See if we're going streaking. I would love to. I'm ready to take off all my clothes and go streaking.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's necessary.
Is that not the type of streaking we're talking about?
Well, Frank, if it's Frank the Tank and he's got to go ask if KFC is open, that's fine too.
Well, all of us, we're going to the quad.
He goes,
honey, there's no one with you.
he goes, they're coming. They're on their way. Dude, snooping. Oh my.
Sammy smash.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money and you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Hey, that's me and his man.
with long shots.
Honestly, between Old School and Eastbound and Down, those are like my two favorite Will
Oh.
Ferrell characters. And they're the ones that get talked about the least.
Unbelievable. And Eastbound and Down, Ashley Schaefer is unbelievable. And then Vince Vaughn, when he's like Speaker City, it's like, I'm worth $500,000 that the government knows about.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
man.
my boy, Blue. You're my
Dude,
boy.
what a great movie.
It's fantastic.
All right, we're
Where
heading to
we
Major League
going, Sammy?
Baseball. We got a couple picks there, and we're going to the NBA Finals.
Stay hot, baby.
Right into the Royals. Royals Rangers. Royals at home plus even money on the money line. We're going to take it. Look, if you want to take them plus 1.5, that's fine. I'm going to take them on the money line. This
Patrick
game.
Mahomes owns part of the Royals.
When have I ever picked the Royals? Stop. I'm trying to get you winners here.
Patrick Mahomes
Mc-
doesn't know how to be a part of a losing team.
I mean, that is true. That's a very,
Except
it's a
for last year.
very true. Well, he had to get hurt for that to happen, but that's a whole. We can get into that in an hour too.
All right, we're picking the Royals money line. What are we doing?
Money line. They're even money right now, plus 100. So Mackenzie Gore, electric strikeout rate, but he does have a high walk rate of almost 11%. The Royals hitters are very disciplined. They're both kind of mediocre teams right now. Royals got off to a rough start, been coming back recently, but I think the play here against Mackenzie Gore, Seth Lugo, I think will hold it down for the Royals. Give me the Royals on the money line, even money plus 100. All right, great story yesterday. If you didn't see it, we were all busy watching the Padres game, but Braden Montgomery, Chicago White Sox.
Dude, I played the home run on KGB this morning.
Super cool. Got called up in his first game against the Atlanta Braves, by the way.
Against one of the best closers in baseball.
One of the best closers in baseball. In extras, hits a walk-off home run. Great story. Cool seeing Chicago doing well. The White Sox are a historic franchise, but have been bad for so long. Him, Miguel Vargas. I mean, they have so many talented players.
Braves money line.
Yes, we're going Braves money line. Davis Martin, very talented pitcher going for the White Sox. He is on 8 days rest, and he has 13th in hard hit percentage, hard hit rate, and the Braves are third in the league hitting righties on the road. So I think the Braves shell him today. I think emotional win last night. Braves going to be locked in, trying to get some get back, and Chris Sale on the mound also is pretty good pretty good as well. All right, NBA Finals. This is a tough game.
I don't think you've got a correct pick in the NBA Finals yet.
That's not true. I hit Knicks money line game 1.
Oh, yeah, but that was
Remember?
the only pick. 3. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry.
I'm coming off a winner.
Shaking money maker, Sammy.
Yeah, relax. God.
Let's talk about butts.
All right. Spurs and Knicks. Now, New York open as 1.5 point favorites, been bet up to 2.5. I understand the sentiment. of that. Probably a little too. Everyone is reactionary. So the Knicks win the first 2 games, they're sweeping. Then the Spurs win game 3. All of a sudden, the Spurs coming back in the series. I'm going with the over 216.5. Now, this cashed by a point or two in the last outing. Why I'm going with the over is I do not think Karl-Anthony Towns has 0 points and 1 assist in the fourth quarter. I think they're going to try to get him the ball inside, especially late in this game. Jalen Brunson did not have his best game 3. I think he will be better. Understanding the bright lights of New York. New York in game 3 had so much buzz with all the celebrities there. First finals game since 1999. I also think on the other side, there's some underrated parts of the Spurs that's heating up. Victor Wembanyama dominated that game. Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle have been carrying the series, but De'Aaron Fox is quietly coming along. Game 1 had a very bad performance, had 20 points in game 2, hit a couple key shots late in that game. He's getting a little bit healthier after been nursing that injury he's been dealing with all playoffs long. I think they're going to be less tight to open both teams in this game, considering they just played at the Garden in game 3. I like the over 216.5 in Knicks and Spurs. So Royals money line, even money, plus 100. I like the Braves money line, minus 150 on the road against Chicago White Sox. I like over 216.5 in Knicks and Spurs in the finals tonight.
I dig it. I really do. Hey, coming up in hour number 2, Darren Smith is going to be joining the show. Talk some World Cup, talk some pods with D. Smith. We're also going to give out those Dave Chappelle tickets. So if you want to go see Dave Chappelle at Viejas Arena on June 21st, all you got to do is leave us a talk back on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Tap the little red microphone icon. Tell us what is the pinnacle of sports. Is it a knockout in a heavyweight boxing world championship match? Is it a buzzer-beating three-pointer in Game 7 of the NBA Finals? What is that moment? Let us know on the free iHeartRadio app. You could win tickets to go see Dave Chappelle. You're listening to San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This was sponsored by rockauto.com. Padres can go in here in about 10 minutes, taking on the Cincinnati Reds in game 3 of their series. Brady Singer will be on the mound for Cincinnati, while Michael King will be going for the Padres. And tonight, NBA Finals, game 4, 5:30, Spurs in New York taking on the Knicks. The Knicks are 2.5-point favorites with the point total set at 216.5. A failed strut can turn any drive into a rough ride. When it's time for repairs, Rock Auto makes finding the right parts easy. Shop name brands at lower prices and have parts shipped directly to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
San Diego Sports 760. It's hour number 2 here. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you on the zone. We go till 2 o'clock. Sammy will take over afterwards, going along with Sammy from 2 to 3. Schaefer and Sliwa from 3 to 6 will be your drive home. Hey, coming up on Friday, we want to see you get on out there to Little Italy, the Piazza della Familia. We're going to be broadcasting live from noon to 5:30. We'll be down there getting ready for Team USA's first game against Paraguay. We'll get a little preview of that with D. Smith coming up at 1:30. Also talk some Padres with Darren. Get his thoughts on what happened last night. Now, what happened last night was a bit of a disaster. If you watch the game, Padres went 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position. Could not figure out the easiest bullpen in Major League Baseball to figure out. That would be the Cincinnati Reds, who've struggled all year with their relievers. Padres just could not get it done. They had plenty of opportunities late in the game. Manny Machado, 1 out, bases loaded, could not come through for the Padres. They lose another game. And it's just adding on to what's been a very, very, very frustrating month of May and beginning of June for the San Diego Padres, where somehow they're still in the middle of everything. Like, if they turn it around, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. But the fact is, no one, myself, Sammy, and I would assume a lot of people listening right now, have faith that this current iteration of the Padres is anywhere close to turning anything around, because all 3, 4, 5 of the guys you need to be great right now offensively are all struggling. Outside of Fernando Tatis Jr., who's getting hits, but not hits that mean anything.
Well, and also, what defines turning it around?
Hitting the baseball.
Right.
A lot.
People throw that around like, oh, they're going to turn it around. It's like, are we talking about, because I put everything through trying to win a World Series view.
Sure, which is how you should, and that may be 2024 talk. I don't think that's 2026 talk. So we got limited time to talk about this here. So I did want to throw out there one part of last night's game we did not talk about at all, and that is right after the final the final out was made on the San Diego Padres. The camera caught something kind of interesting. And it was Craig Stammen seemingly chirping back and forth with some fans who were in the front row at Petco Park last night. Did you catch this, Sammy?
I saw it live, yeah.
Now, I don't know what was said. I don't know what was going on, but I do know that boos were raining down at Petco Park last night, and that was rightful. I will defend the fans on that one. But the fact that this is getting to the point where now Craig Stammen is stepping up onto steps and looking back and letting this bother him, again, showing a little bit of youth and managerialness. Now, I've defended Craig Stammen for a large part this season. I'm not defending anything from last night. That was kind of Bush League on Stammen's part. And I thought his quotes after the game, talking about Manny Machado, saying he's the guy he would want up every time they're in a big situation, is outrageous. So if I'm giving Craig Stammen his first F on the season, it was last night.
Right. It did kind of show the youth. It showed, I'm sure some of those comments, I have no idea what they were. I haven't watched a video or anything about that.
Can we get a lip reader on this?
Right. He seemed when Marty had the quotes, Marty Caswell, about Craig Stammen defending Manny Machado. He seemed fired up, trying to prove a point, like he was right. It felt a little Mike Schilt-esque. Mike Schilt last year would defend his guys no matter what. Look, I get Craig Stammen's not going to eviscerate Manny Machado. He's, one of the supposed to be one of the key cogs on the team, but that was the big concern when AJ Preller convinced Craig Stammen to get in the running for the job. We all remember that.
Craig Stammen, be a teammate, or you're going to be a coach,
right? And he convinced him to try to put his hat in, throw his hat in the ring, and take the job. And off the jump, because they were winning all these games, look, it's great when everyone's winning, right? Everyone loves to go to the press conference when they're winning. They love talking and getting those quotes out there. When things are going bad now, and they've been going bad for a while, it does start to feel like, what's the solution? What's the answer? And I don't know if Craig Stammen is the guy right now to find that.
Last night was the first time I really had a problem with Craig Stammen. And he's made some dumb choices, sure, with the bullpen, with pinch hits. Like, I get that. And that's stuff you figure out. And those are the learning bumps you're expecting. But I thought last night there was a couple of immaturity things from Craig Stammen that we hadn't really seen yet. All right, let's get to the big three of hour number 2. We'll do that here. Darren Smith coming up in about 25 minutes. We do have a pair of Dave Chappelle tickets to give away. If you would like to win those tickets, you got to do it on the free iHeartRadio app. Use the talkback mic. Hit that little button on the free iHeartRadio app. When you listen to San Diego Sports 760, you'll see the red microphone button. Hit that. Leave us up to 30 seconds. We're asking you for the pinnacle of sports. We've heard pro wrestling heavyweight championship. We've heard a kickoff return for a touchdown. We've heard a buzzer-beating three-pointer. What is yours? And you're in the running to win Dave Chappelle tickets. Sammy, let's smash the big three.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Where are we heading, Sammy?
LeBron James.
Oh, please.
LeBron James was in a talking to I believe it was like a piece written on him or something. Interview with Time magazine.
It was like the top 100 best athletes, something or other.
Okay, so LeBron James said on the GOAT debate between him and Michael Jordan, said, "I'm not taking nobody over me. There's no question." He did go on to say, I think Mike will say the same thing. Rest his soul. Kobe will say the same thing. Magic. All these guys are going to say it themselves. But then he circled back to himself and said, if there's a general manager and he's eyeballing all of us on a baseline with the number 1 pick, it's going to be hard not to take me, champ. What do you make of the timing? A, what do you make of the remarks? But B, what do you make of the timing of these remarks? Like, it's got to be weird that...
Yeah, is he saying it from a golf course in Hawaii?
Well, and it's like, so much has been made about where LeBron's going to go in free agency. Is he going back with the Lakers, the Warriors, the Cavs? The Knicks, I think, are out of it if they end up winning a World Series, or not World Series, NBA Finals. But like, what are you thinking about retiring? That's not been any part of the reports. But now we're hearing you talk about your whole career, about how you're not taking anyone over you.
He's setting up the retirement tour, which is fine, and LeBron has earned it. I think he deserves it. Look, unfortunately, like, LeBron will have the stats to back up his side of the argument. That's fine. And this debate is my least favorite debate of all time, the Michael versus LeBron debate. Ultimately, there was a poll that everyone could vote on. I can't remember when exactly this was. It was within the last few months. That was literally, let's settle this once and for all. And it got like 1 million votes on it. It was huge. The results were overwhelming that Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. And I think the reason it comes down to is, sure, LeBron, if a general manager is starting a team day one, who would they take? Well, you have the body. You obviously have the longevity. Everyone would look at your career and say that's someone you would want on the team. Let's talk about 5 seconds left in the finals.
Exactly.
Who am I taking in that moment? I'm taking Kobe and MJ over LeBron, and it's not even close.
Well, that's where people, when you talk about GOAT, when you talk about this, doesn't have to be basketball. This could be football as well. You would never, if you had a mold of a quarterback and you took anyone, you would never take Tom Brady.
Right.
Tom Brady can't run, never had the biggest arm, all this stuff. You would take Aaron Rodgers. You would take Dan Marino. You would take a lot of quarterbacks in terms of pure physical talent over Tom Brady. But at the end of the day, who won all the Super Bowls? Tom Brady. And who do you trust more with the ball with 2 minutes to go than Tom Brady? About no one. So when you get to this, and when you get to the LeBron Jordan argument, right? If you were creating his point about, if you're the number 1 overall pick and you were creating the mold of a basketball player, it probably would be LeBron. LeBron is a freight train. He's 6'9", but can handle the ball. Who's stopping that coming down the floor? But we're talking about the GOAT. When I look at the GOAT, who is the most clutch? Who dominated their era more than anybody else? And to me, it's not even close. It's Michael Jordan. I mean, yes, if you are a personal stats guy or you are an individual stats, LeBron has a scoring record, you're probably going to be a LeBron guy. If you are about going 6 for 6 in the finals, it's Michael. It is interesting to me, though, that this comes out now.
Who's had more opportunity over their career to win more championships?
Certainly LeBron James.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to...
that ends the discussion for me, by the way.
Right.
That's it. Like, if LeBron wanted to be the unanimous GOAT, LeBron would have won more championships. He had plenty of opportunity.
Plenty of opportunities. Let's head to hockey. Let's head to a little hockey. Great game last night. Carolina Hurricanes take down the Vegas Golden Knights. Who has the edge in this series now?
Dude, I really enjoy rooting for Vegas, but I do feel like Carolina kind of made a statement last night. just the confidence they were playing with, and it was like, all right, I'm done playing around. Time to go win. I feel like Carolina has the edge, but Vegas is a little more fun to root for. I hope this thing goes 7. Hockey is so much fun when it gets to this point. Like, this is the first time I've really sat down and kind of intensely watched these games. Last night was great. I had Padres on the phone, hockey on the TV. Man, Love Island got demoted to my wife's iPad, and she just had to deal with that for a night. And I'll have to catch up later today. But it was really fun watching Carolina sort of just put down the gauntlet last night.
It was like Jordan Staal had 2 goals. He's age 37. They took Frederik Andersen out of net, who's been one of the best goalies in all the NHL all year, which is a pretty ballsy move considering it felt like a much needed game for Carolina in Las Vegas to make that kind of switch on the road. Usually you would make that kind of switch at home when you have the home crowd behind them. But I think this is going 7. This is a great series. I mean, Ehlers is a fantastic scorer for Carolina, and Vegas lit up with stars. Jack Eichel's not had a very good series. Mitch Marner's been tremendous coming over from the Toronto Maple Leafs. I hope this goes 7 because these really are the 2 best teams in hockey. And a lot of people thought that when Vegas beat Colorado, maybe it would be one-sided to Carolina. It has not. It has been a tremendous series.
All right, we got one more we can squeeze in.
We do. Let's head to the NFL. Browns head coach Todd Monken says the quarterback 1 decision between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders is not going to be decided by the end of minicamp. Kind of highlighted how they're both playing excellent ball right now. A, who do you think has the inside edge? And B, what do you make of Todd Monken, them drawing this process out probably right up until week 1 of the NFL season?
Sorry, reset the top of that. I was reading a text. One more time.
Browns head coach Todd Monken, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson competing for the QB1 job. Not going to name it by the end of minicamp. What do you think about them dragging this out until week 1 of the NFL season? And who do you think has the inside edge?
Look, I do think it should be Shedeur. However, the Browns are looking in the mirror and realizing that they spent $330 million guaranteed dollars on Deshaun Watson. And if you're going to see if he has anything to maybe, I don't know, be able to trade him this year, you're going to have to see it happen on the field. It's pretty transparent to me. Like, Deshaun Watson's going to get a crack to start this year for the Cleveland Browns. Because if he has anything, maybe there's going to be a team out there that's willing to take the rest of this contract off of the Cleveland Browns. So I think Shedeur is probably the guy for the future, but I do think Deshaun's going to get a crack to start this year. And what if he could turn back the clock? Like, people forget, before Deshaun Watson got famous for what he got famous for, Deshaun Watson was being talked about as one of the next
That was
tops.
years ago, though.
I get it. I do. And I don't think he's still that player. But for somebody who's a quarterback away, maybe, and this is what the Cleveland Browns are hoping for, he can show something in the first couple of weeks that is at least worth a 5th-round pick to try to bring in. You know what I mean?
I hear you with that, but wouldn't that make more sense the other way? Because that contract's not tradable unless the Browns are going to eat a large salary of it. And
they would have to. Isn't this the final year of it?
I'm not sure on that. But if it is, it's like the people... I don't think teams want the PR hit of having Deshaun Watson, especially when it comes with not elite level play. If I am the Browns, I've been adamant about this. Not that I think Shedeur Sanders is a superstar. He showed some pop last year, especially given the lack of receiving options around him. There was something there. And if Shedeur Sanders sucks, then guess what? You're picking number 1 next year, and maybe Arch Manning is a Brown, or Dante Moore is a Brown, or the plethora of quarterbacks coming out next year. I mean, hell, Taylon Green, they took in the 6th round out of Arkansas. This dude has some of the best measurables in the class. Deshaun Watson is not going to have a resurgence, in my opinion, at this career like a Sam Darnold or a Baker Mayfield. I just don't see it in him. He relied so much on his legs young when he was with Houston. He doesn't have that same ability anymore. I would play the kid, see if you have something, but the Browns can't get it out of their own way, and they don't want to make their signing look even worse than it already was of Deshaun Watson.
Do you follow Deshaun Watson on TikTok, by the way?
No.
He posts some wild stuff, man.
But just him getting massages?
No, Sammy. That's low-hanging fruit. We don't do that here. But
favorite places in the greater Cleveland area?
It was Deshaun Watson on a private jet with his girlfriend or wife, playing Madden on the private jet as himself.
That's skillful.
I'd do the same
he's
thing.
74 overall rating.
I'd do the same thing if I was an NFL player.
I'd only play with myself. Okay, well, hold on.
Yep, we're going to save that one. Go ahead. Mark it on the tape. That one's living forever. Oh, we're just going to let that one sit for a little bit, Sammy.
I I would use my character, my name, image, and likeness in whatever sport I played, and would use myself to reach the heights that I
You're making it so much better. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Get those talkbacks in. We'll play a few of them on the other side. If you want Dave Chappelle tickets, tell us what is the pinnacle of sport. What is that moment to you? It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. If you want to come watch some World Cup soccer with us this Friday, Little Italy, the Piazza della Familia is going to transform, man. It is really cool. I saw some of the plans today. They're going to have probably a couple thousand people down there. They got a massive screen that's going up to watch some of the games. Some of our audio will be played when the games aren't on. And so we'll be out there from noon to 5:30 getting you ready. And of course, you're going to hear Team USA's first match against Paraguay right here on San Diego Sports 760. All right, very funny moment in the previous segment if you missed it. I just sent the clip to Sammy. Maybe it'll get posted somewhere. Maybe the Fletch and Sammy account on X. We can put it there. I don't know if that's San Diego Sports 760 worthy, but it probably should get up on the internet somewhere.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just sent it to you, Sammy. I sent you the whole clip, actually. You could look at it on your phone right now. But Sir Will is commenting, we all have, Sammy. So everyone gets it. Look, we've all been there. In Madden, of course. You're going to play as yourself in Madden, right?
In Madden.
You just had a real nice choice of words there.
Yeah.
If you would like to win Dave Chappelle tickets, you got to do it on the talkback mic. We're asking you, what is the pinnacle moment in sports? We got one in, actually, that I love. Sam, I think it's the second one down right now, Sammy. I believe so.
All right, right here.
Yeah, go
From
ahead.
Juan?
Yes.
God, this is so easy. I can't believe nobody's mentioned this. So the greatest pinnacle in sports history would be to score 4 touchdowns in a single high school game at Polk High. Give me Al Bundy for the greatest sports story to ever live.
Talk about the Polk High School
One.
Panthers. Al Bundy scoring 4 touchdowns in that game. Yeah, if you're a Married with Children fan, you know that was like the whole basis of Al Bundy's life was that he scored 4 touchdowns in a championship game for the Polk High School Panthers.
I think I would go a knockout like in boxing would
Like
be crazy.
That punch that you can just turn around after you throw it because you know the fight's over would be epic.
Would be. I mean, like that would be because football is funny. People
like
would be
UFC landing a head kick that you know after you get both feet
like,
back on the
good night.
ground, this is done.
like a walk-off home run. I mean, baseball has the drama of the fact that, you know, everything, it's, you know, not time. Well, I guess it is time now, but it's, you know, the situations.
Sure. The game can go all night.
Cause like football, it's funny. I don't think I would pick to catch the game winning touchdown. I think I would pick to get like a game winning strip sack.
The Aaron Donald pointing at the ring finger,
right? Like
in the
that,
Super Bowl,
or an interception. Like, I don't know that I would just catch the game-winning touchdown.
See, that's the other thing with the whole Aaron Donald potentially coming back. Like, our last memory of Aaron Donald on the football field is literally him pointing at his finger after hitting the game-winning sack in the Super Bowl. How many people get to say that? Like, that's it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I would come back at risk of that not happening again.
I love how the Niner fan comes out in you that you every time are like, you know, maybe he wants to ride off in the sunset. Maybe he wants to just chill.
I mean, I think that'd be good for his mental health. I really do. I think it'd be good if, you know, Aaron Donald just didn't even think about that silly foosball. Is that what it's called?
Who I'm curious as a Niner fan, you, obviously not me. That'd be gross. You, what team besides the Rams scares you the most in the NFC? Is it the Seahawks?
You mean going into this year?
Going into this year.
Okay, I thought you were talking all time. I would tell you the stupid New York Giants who somehow lost 2 NFC championship games.
Eli is an owner of the
dumbest ways ever. But this year, like obviously the Rams are 1, but we kind of kicked the Rams' ass in the regular season. Seahawks are a problem. Okay, if we want to talk about postseason Niners versus Rams, remember the dropped interception? Niners would have been in that Super Bowl instead of the Rams.
Would have.
If we're talking NFC this year, like the Eagles are going to be really, really good. The Seahawks, but yeah, most of it's in division. It's Seahawks and Rams. Other than that,
it's because I wonder if people would say the Seahawks are one of the top contenders. Because like I think they will be up there with Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
They're going to take a step back though.
But no Walker, no.
Like if I was legitimately power ranking the NFC right now, it would go Rams, Niners, Eagles, Seahawks.
No Bears.
Caleb, Iceman, Madden curse.
Come on now. When your quarterback is Brock Purdy, you don't get to scoff.
We got D Smith on the other side. I'll scoff all I want at Caleb. Madden cover. Steven on YouTube says, how can it be Machado RBI? Yeah, we broke the curse.
Yes, he came through in the first inning.
Talk smack and then good things happen. All right, D Smith on the other side at San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. This report sponsored by Taco Bell. Padres are currently up 1-0 in the second inning right now. And then we got the NBA Finals tonight getting going later on. The Knicks are -1.5 favorites. Open as -1.5 favorites, now 2.5. The point total is set at 216.5 as the San Antonio Spurs look to even the series. And the Carolina Hurricanes evened it up, sending it back to Carolina, tied up 2-2 last night. Jordan Stahl had 2 goals on the night. The sport has been sponsored by Taco Bell.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long. Hey, San Diego Sports 760 is your home for live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get daily match updates from the opening match to the final on July 19th. Hear live play-by-play coverage of the most anticipated games at every Team USA match. 2026 World Cup coverage lives right here on San Diego Sports 760. Speaking of which, Section 1904, which is hosted by our friend Darren Smith, has a World Cup preview up for Team USA and the entirety of Group D, which Team USA is a part of. Darren Smith joining us right now. What's up, Darren? How are you?
Boy, that was good timing. I literally just hit that to post within the last 3 minutes, I think, while Sammy was doing his update. So good timing there. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited for the tournament. We have less than 24 hours to go before we get the first match of 2026. So I'm ready, man. My body is ready. I don't know mentally how we're going to do it over the next 6 weeks, but I'm ready to see what it feels like.
You've been doing some push-ups, getting ready for this World Cup run for all the fist pumps we'll be throwing up in the air?
More like some 12-ounce curls. Yeah, absolutely. For the 39 days of matches over the next 6 weeks. It kicks tomorrow, and then the final is July 19th. So I think it's a nice break. It's a nice distraction. The Padres are putting everybody in a bad mood. So I think it's kind of cool to be able to say, hey, I'm just going to check out of this for a little while. But yeah, we got a lot going on. You know, our friends at SDFC are partnering up with Fox 5 locally, and they're taking over a place in Mission Beach called Fit Social. So we'll be out there tomorrow. I'll be out there with a very handsome Julian Delgadio at 2 p.m. And I'll be out there again on Friday, and a handful of days, different players, different coaches. There's going to be music. There's going to be all sorts of stuff happening. So check it out. I will just take this opportunity to quickly say, go to SDFC's website or social media channels. They'll have all the information, but it will be an all ages event right there on the Pacific Ocean. So it's going to be a party.
We're going to get D. Smith in a suit on TV next to Julian Delgadio. What are we going to do? Sammy and I have been getting excited, Darren, for World Cup play. And we've been looking at the betting angle of it. That's what this show does. And so we've been learning all about that. But objectively, you look at Team USA, you see some of the quotes from Pochettino earlier today saying, why can't we go on and win the whole damn thing? What do you think objectively looking at Team USA and their chances, let's just say, to make it to the final 8 teams?
Final 8? So final 8 would be quarterfinals, right?
Yeah.
So, so this is not a heavyweight of the sport, right? Like the U.S. is not one of the heavyweights. This is not Brazil. This is not Argentina. This is not Germany. We all know that. But I think what every host nation does is they try to channel the success of non-heavyweight hosts in the past. And the most notable one was South Korea in 2002. So I'm sure what Mauricio Pochettino is saying behind the scenes is, guys, listen, sometimes if we get the type of home support that we're expecting to get starting Friday at 6 p.m. in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, why can't we let that emotion carry us? If you can't believe it now, when are you going to believe it? In 4 years, that doesn't make any sense. In 8 years. So why not? Why not look at the group, figure out a way to have some success here over your first 3 matches, set yourself up for some success in the knockout rounds and see where it takes us. It's a weird tournament. It's the first time it's ever been played with 48 teams. So I objectively do not think it's impossible to get to the final 8. And, that will be the motivation. Now, do I see some obvious flaws with the squad? I do. I think we all do. I think we all wonder what's going to happen defensively with this team. So it's fair to point out that they are flawed, but there is no perfect team showing up to this tournament. They I think we'll have a pretty good opportunity to have a level of success that we haven't seen in a really, really long time. So, if you can't believe it now, I don't know when you could believe it.
When you mentioned that there are typically 32 teams in the World Cup, now it's going to 48. Do you think that means we're going to see more chalk in the group stage, or do you think we're more likely to go on a run because there's more teams in it?
It's hard to say. It's really hard to say how different teams are going to look at their individual pathways, right? Like, let's say you're a team that it has to factor in weather conditions and you have a couple of nagging injuries. Does that mean you're going to go all out in the first game, right? The old way of thinking was, you had to put your best foot forward in the first game of the group stage, which are the first 3 games that you play, so that you put yourself in a position to make it out and go to the knockout rounds where it's single elimination. But now we're going to get 32 teams coming out of group as opposed to 16. That's a lot more. So some teams might throttle back a little bit. They might pace themselves a little bit differently. They might look at their conditions. They might be playing in different parts of the world where they're thinking, we're going to wear down after a long European season with heat and humidity and who else knows, travel, which is going to be really unique to playing in North America compared to some of the other smaller countries that traditionally have hosted the World Cup. So I don't know. I think it's kind of the mystery of how this is going to happen. If I'm the U.S., I want to win. I definitely want to win. I don't want to be cautious. I want to win the group. I want to put myself in the best position to succeed. But I also don't want to push a player like Chris Richards, who's coming back from injury. If there's any question about an important player, I want to err on the side of caution. But, my approach, and I think Pochettino's approach, is going to be, we want to be aggressive. We're not going to play defensively. We're going to try to go out there, take the match to the opponent and try to break them down and try to score some goals and try to go out and win these matches, which, I'm just telling you, is not always the formula for teams when they begin group stage play.
If you're listening right now and you're like, is that Darren Smith? Yes, it is Darren Smith. And you can catch more of him on Friar Territory on social media. He and Marty doing a show together. Of course, Section 1904, which is where you can find a full preview of Team USA in this year's World Cup. Now, Darren, before we get to the other thing that's stressing you out these days, which is the NBA Finals, which you happen to have a rooting interest in, real quick, the betting angle on the World Cup. This is kind of new territory for me and Sammy. We're jumping into it for the first time. But when you look at the betting angle, is there a team maybe you can give us that you think might have a little bit of longer odds who we could maybe throw something on right now?
Longer odds to win
the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I would guess. Do you have the odds right in front of you? I'm going to guess that Spain and France are right there towards
their top. They're top 2,
and top 2, and Argentina is probably hovering around. I'm guessing somewhere 3.
Yeah, and then like Argentina, Portugal's a little bit down the list. England, I believe, is
Portugal
like
is one that I would toss out there. Yeah, and just trying to get a sense for how far back, like straight up long shots. I think it's probably only but for a handful of teams that are capable of winning it. I think the longest shot might be a team like Portugal, but if you want to mess around and have a little bit of fun, I think the Japan side is pretty good, and their pathway is solid. I think a team like Mexico, listen, Mexico's best success in the World Cup has come when the tournament started on Mexican soil. The 2 times that they've advanced the furthest in their history is when they started where they're starting tomorrow at the Azteca. I'm kind of interested in Norway. I think Norway is a team that was historically good in European qualifying. So I want to see if that translates. They're in a tricky group, so it might be hard for them, but I think that there's real quality there in that squad. And again, they qualified, I think, by the biggest margin that anybody's ever qualified, even if you want to take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, teams like Portugal, Norway, Colombia is an interesting team. I saw them over the weekend. I didn't think they were great. They weren't at their best form. They've been better. They were runners up in their international tournament a couple of years ago. So that would be a couple that I would toss out there and see like what it looks like and what the pathways are. But those are the ones that stand out to me top of my head.
What star Messi got his World Cup the last time out? Mbappe came up short in that game. Ronaldo's trying to get his World Cup, and you mentioned Norway with Holland making his debut. What star faces the most pressure in this World Cup?
Cristiano Ronaldo, for sure. This is it for him. You mentioned Messi. I can't imagine we're going to see him again. Same thing goes for Neymar. Same thing probably goes for Harry Kane, Manuel Neuer, the goalkeeper from Germany, Luka Modric. So there's a handful of them, but I would say, this is it for Cristiano Ronaldo. And he's won everything everywhere he's ever been. So the one thing that is missing from his trophy cabinet is the World Cup. And in the never-ending conversation about Messi versus Ronaldo, the one thing that Messi can say now that nobody can dispute, he's won a World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo has not. So this is it. This is his last chance. If he doesn't do it now, probably never going to do it. So I think, and that puts a lot of pressure on those Portuguese teammates now too, because they also, and you could say it to a lesser degree about Neymar in Brazil, but specifically it will be Cristiano Ronaldo. This is it for him. So let's see if he goes into to the remainder of his life, always being reminded that he didn't do the thing that Messi did.
Darren, I said Knicks in 5. I don't think I've gotten Sammy's exact answer yet, but I said that earlier today. I think the Knicks go and win the next 2. Where are you at right now?
What time is it?
1:43.
It changes every couple of minutes. I will say I feel a lot better now than I did 3 hours ago. And that's because I saw the news that the Wu-Tang Clan is performing at halftime tonight at Madison Square Garden. So I feel like there's been a good vibe shift from what it was that went on Monday night. I feel like that puts everybody in a good mood. People will look forward to that. San Antonio's good. I did not think it would be. I know the Knicks in 4 thing kind of became a bit of a rally cry for a lot of Knicks fans, and it would have been great, but felt like it was unrealistic going into the tournament. Felt like they were going to lose at least 1, maybe 2. So I guess we'll see what happens. The refereeing tonight to me is such a question because now we've had 48 hours, essentially, of everybody watching this Victor Wembanyama video over and over again. And what are the Knicks going to do about it? They've been called out. I saw Charles Barkley today was calling out the Knicks saying, man, what's going on with them? They look kind of soft. They didn't do anything about it. No retribution. So what does that mean? Does that mean that somebody's going to go out there and do something against Victor Wembanyama tonight? I don't know. Like, what sort of tone does that set? I thought clearly the Spurs wanted to be the aggressive team. They wanted to be the more physical team. They were. Knicks didn't play well. The refereeing I thought was worse in game 2 than game 3. It's just that the Knicks played a little bit better in San Antonio. So, I'm still okay with it, but this feels like it's such a big one tonight. And do I feel like the winner of this is automatically going to go on and win the NBA final? Probably so if it's the Knicks. Don't know that I feel that way if it's San Antonio, but we're down to a best of 3, and 2 of those 3 are away from Madison Square Garden, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. So I think the Knicks will be better, but I think a lot of this is just going to be how the game is officiated. And are the officials going to be put under some sort of mandate to call the game differently than they have? And if so, what does that mean? And do the Knicks feel like they have to go out there and do something to Victor Wembanyama, or do they compartmentalize that and just say, hey, guys, listen, let's just not turn the ball over. We'll be fine. We really haven't played all that great in this series. So let's just, go ahead and try to get back to being ourselves. I think I would prefer that. You can always get Victor Wembanyama somewhere down the road. You don't have to do it tonight, but that's oftentimes not the way basketball works. So cautiously optimistic, counting down the minutes till 5:30.
I've listened to a lot of Darren Smith over the last 10 years. I feel like I've listened to a ton of full 3-hour shows of Darren Smith. And I love it when you talk about the Knicks or St. John's, because you go from the very analytical, smart Darren Smith to a total fan. And that's what you just were, Darren, which is great. The waffling back and forth. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Darren Smith. Catch him everywhere on social media at D Smith Show. And check those updates from him and Marty on Friar Territory. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll announce our winner for Dave Chappelle coming up next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Lowe's. The Padres and Reds are downtown in Petco Park playing game 3 of their series right now. And currently we are in the top of the 4th inning, and the Padres trail the Reds 2-1. In NFL news, the Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract and a rework deal that will keep him in Kansas City through 2033, and it's going to be at a value of over $504 million, making it the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million. In NBA news, we got game 4 of the finals tonight in New York at the Garden between the Spurs and Knicks. They will tip that off after 5:30. Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it in and get a quote in minutes. Plus, access thousands of products beyond what's in store on Lowe's.com right from the Lowe's Pro Desk.
Going long with Sammy.
That's going to be hot.
In depth on the story of the day. Plus, it's warm in the hot seat. Now, it's Sammy Long.
We got a lot to get to today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to get to. Padres at Petco trying to win this series against the Cincinnati Reds, currently losing 2-1. Michael King, rough little 2-run shot there. Steven had it right here. Steer bomb trailing. Frustrating. Very frustrating. Figure that if you're interested in the game, you're probably watching it. So we're gonna keep you updated, keep you abreast of what's going on out at Petco, but we're gonna get into kind of everything around the world of sports while keeping an eye on that Padre game. Coming about 30 minutes, the UFC is taking the show on the road this weekend to the White House. I'm going to get into the card itself. Dana White has some interesting comments about the kind of numbers that this weekend's fights are going to do. I'm not sure I'm buying it. We're going to play that for you coming up in about 30 minutes. Plus, LeBron says he's the GOAT, says he wouldn't take anyone over himself. We got some spicy Stephen A. Smith comments in response to that. Got a lot to get to coming up in about 15 in regards to that. But that bad man, Patrick Mahomes, and yes, I am a diehard Chiefs fan, but he just signed he just got a rework deal. So they added a bunch of money to his contract. I'm pulling up the numbers right here. He originally signed that 10-year, $450 million deal when he first got his big contract. The Chiefs, per Adam Schefter, adding 2 years to Mahomes' contract, tying him to the Chiefs to the 2033 season at a value of $504.75 million, making it the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million per Ian Rappaport and him. So the new average for Mahomes yearly is going to be 64 mil. So it's a ton of money. Now, the Chiefs are doing something interesting right now because we got into it a little bit yesterday. Lamar Jackson is in the middle of negotiating a contract and with the Baltimore Ravens. And when you hear that number of 64 million, you're like, well, I mean, how are the Chiefs going to be able to pay any players? How are the Chiefs going to be relevant because they're not going to be able to pay the rest of the team? And we've seen that over the years. We've seen that when you pay the star quarterback, that can hurt. Now, when you have a quarterback of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow's caliber, Lamar Jackson, you're willing to do that because they're able to make up for maybe subpar receivers. They're able to fill kind of holes in your team because they're that good. The problem in the NFL is when you pay Kirk Cousins big money. That's the issue because you pay Kirk Cousins big money back when he was humming with the Vikings. Some could argue Dak Prescott. I'm actually a Dak Prescott fan. I think Dak Prescott gets a little bit of a bad rap, but he's second. He makes $60 million per year on average. And you don't want to pay a mid-level quarterback great money. You don't want to pay a good quarterback great money. You can pay great money, but not good great money. And the Mahomes deal off the jump, like $64 million. Wow. Well, what are the Chiefs going to do with that? Well, the Chiefs have kind of been signaling this. What did they do in the offseason? They traded Trent McDuffie. He's a Ram now. They could have paid him $31 million a year. They elected not to do that. They elected to get younger on defense. Go in the first round, getting Mansour Delane, getting Peter Woods, R. Mason Thomas in the second round. The Chiefs are doing what they did a few years ago, just on the other side of the ball. What they did with Tyreek Hill was when the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill, it was like, what are they doing? I mean, why would you get rid of Tyreek Hill, a young superstar in this league, But they did it, and then they drafted Trent McDuffie. They drafted George Karlaftis. They drafted all this young talent on the defensive side who are on young, cheap contracts. You got to get young. Look at the Seattle Seahawks last year. Seattle Seahawks had one of the youngest, I believe they had the youngest defense in the entire NFL and one of the cheapest defenses in all of the entire NFL. And to Seattle's credit, look what they're doing. They let Kenneth Walker go to the Chiefs, actually. They let Tariq Woolen, the big-time corner for them, go. You have to make some cuts, and yet what do they do to backfill Kenneth Walker? They select Jadarian Price, the running back out of Notre Dame, at that 32nd spot in the first round. So off the jump, you're $64 million, shocking. But the Chiefs are kind of doing something here because Mahomes is worth that money. And when he signed that 10 years, $450 million deal, everyone was like, I mean, what? You know, how could the Chiefs be good? How are they going to put anyone around him? The dirty little secret there was everyone looks at the number of 450 is the 10 years. Because in the NFL, when you have a 10-year contract, you're able to expand money out over the years. So if there's a year where you're a little bit cheaper in terms of the salary cap, you can have your quarterback, Mahomes in this case, take a little bit more of a cap hit and put more money tied against to him because you can afford it. And then the years where you really need that money, you can shift his cap hit to other years. So I love the deal. As a Chiefs fan, I'm happy they're taking care of Patrick Mahomes. It was long overdue. He was, before this deal, checking in at, I'm trying to see, it was outside of the top 10 in terms of pay, in terms of salary. Before this contract, yeah, he was making $45 million a year. Dak Prescott leads the way before this contract today with $60 million. Joe Burrow's $55, Josh Allen's $55, Jordan Love $55 million, Trevor Lawrence $55 million. So you look at this list, and then you got Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. You notice how the best quarterbacks aren't necessarily at the top. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, yes. But Lamar Jackson's down here a little ways. Currently at $52 million. He is negotiating a contract right now. Don't think that the Chiefs didn't look at their AFC rivals and go, okay, we're going to redo Mahomes' contract. So Lamar Jackson's going to go, well, I might not be Mahomes at $64 million, but I damn sure am better than Dak Prescott at 60. I have a better resume than Dak Prescott. I got 2 MVPs in my name. So you're going to cap string some of these other teams that are looking to pay their quarterbacks. And the salary cap is constantly going up. But when you look at that top 10, so Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, and then Lamar Jackson. And then Mahomes at the top now. The list I'm looking at hasn't been updated. But it is funny, like, would you say Trevor Lawrence is an A-plus quarterback? No. I think Trevor Lawrence has moments and could develop into something, and you saw it kind of break out last year, but he's not top 6 in the NFL quarterback money. Jordan Love is the egregious one. I know, Brent, I'm assuming you feel the same way as a Bears fan. Jordan Love got paid off of one game when they destroyed the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card. That they destroyed the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card, I believe 3-4 years ago, and then kind of played admirably against San Francisco in that divisional round, ended up losing the game, and he got paid. Now you could argue Jordan Love hasn't had a great supporting cast around him, but I certainly don't think Jordan Love deserves to be in the top 5. Josh Allen, of course, Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott is kind of an anomaly in that when you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you have a stardom around you because the Cowboys are the biggest brand in the NFL. And I do think Dak Prescott, like when he became the highest paid quarterback, people were like, oh, it's a terrible deal for the Cowboys. Is Dak Prescott A-plus quarterback? No. But I would say for what the Cowboys have put Dak Prescott through with coaching changes from Jason Garrett to McCarthy to now to Schottenheimer, all of Jerry Jones BS. I mean, trading Micah Parsons, getting Jerry Jones, or not getting Jerry, getting CeeDee Lamb, and Ezekiel Elliott kind of fell off a few years into his career. Like Dak Prescott has dealt with a lot, so is a little bit of an overpay, sure. But in regards to quarterback contracts, like Lamar is going to want to reset the market. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles have an interesting situation. Like a lot of people want to bang on him and go, Jalen Hurts is not a top quarterback. Well, Jalen Hurts only makes $51 million a year. And in terms of quarterback hierarchy standards, That's a fringe top 10 guy. So the Eagles are kind of getting a bargain here. And, whatever you think about Jalen Hurts, maybe he has limitations in the passing game. He certainly has earned the respect of being the maybe 11th highest paid quarterback, probably higher. It's got him a little bit of a deal. The quarterback market is always going to reset. So Mahomes, 3 Super Bowls, going to be at the top. And the Chiefs, again, got cheap on defense this year and feel like they can afford the money now. Travis Kelce, going to be his last year in all likelihood. So there's some money coming off the books that the Chiefs are going to be fine with. But it's always been thought of as, if you don't know if your quarterback's the guy, like sign him to a shorter term deal. If you remember Dak Prescott's first deal, people were concerned. They were talking about a 3-4 year deal. And with a 4-year deal with a guy making $60 million, there's nothing you can do with the cap. You can't move the money anywhere. But what teams have started doing, and the Chiefs are one of the first to do this, the Bills have followed suit, the Bengals, giving quarterbacks long-term deals with many years where the number looks really big in terms of the amount of payment going to them. But when you spread it out over years, you really have the flexibility to move the cap around and afford that slot receiver, afford that, third safety that really many Super Bowl teams have to get over that hump. So Patrick Mahomes resetting the market. Excited about that. I'm curious to see what other quarterbacks kind of have their deals ripped up and how long he'll be the top paid quarterback. Because I assume not long with many deals coming up here pretty soon. All right. On the other side, we got LeBron James. LeBron James in the news again, talking about that he would not take anyone over himself in terms of the GOAT debate. We're going to hear from Stephen A. Smith on his thoughts about that. Text us your thoughts, 70470. Start your message with team. Your thoughts on that. Plus, if you want to win Ziggy Marley tickets, Little Red Talkback mic, top right corner of the iHeartRadio app in San Diego Sports 760. Who is the GOAT in your book? Is it LeBron? Is it Jordan? Is it other? Again, Little Red Talkback mic. You will be we'll play it on air and you'll be in the running to win some Ziggy Marley tickets. That's coming up next on the other side. Going long, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back, and you can win your way in before you can buy them. Live performances by the Goo Goo Dolls, Kenny Chesney, Lainey Wilson, Snoop Dogg, Weezer, and more. September 18th and 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. The Capital One presale means card holders have first access to tickets right now, but only for a limited time. Add an access pass for an exclusive pre-concert event with Weezer. 48 hours while they last. Get yours at iHeartRadio.com/Capital One. The general public on sale starts Friday at 11 a.m. Brian, that was a handful right there. That's a big ad rate. So, and again, chance to win Ziggy Marley tickets. Top right corner of your iHeartRadio app. When you click on San Diego Sports 760, leave a little red talk back. Are you Jordan? Are you LeBron in terms of the GOAT conversation? Where are you? Because LeBron commented on it today. LeBron, in an interview for Time Magazine, doing a piece on himself, said, "I'm not taking nobody over me." Now, to set up this clip, LeBron did say, I think Mike would say the same thing, talking about Michael Jordan, rest his soul. Kobe would say the same thing. Magic would say the same thing. Bird would say the same thing. I don't think none of us are going to take somebody else. He did say, if there's a general manager, though, and he's eyeballing all of us on a baseline with the number 1 pick, it's going to be hard not to take me, champ. So that's what LeBron said. Now, Stephen A. Smith on First Take today reacted to these comments. Here's what he had to say. Not too thrilled with LeBron's comments about himself being the GOAT.
He's talking about they would say the same thing. No, they wouldn't. Michael Jordan would never tell you he's the GOAT. I know Michael Jordan. I speak to him often. I'm telling you, he has never, ever, ever once called himself the greatest. Ever. It has never happened. Kobe Bryant didn't call himself the greatest. Kareem didn't call himself the greatest. Magic didn't call himself the greatest. Bird didn't call himself the greatest. No, that's not true. That's not true. He could say they might have thought it, but they never articulated it to a reporter for print purposes to be disseminated to the masses. It is LeBron James, which brings us to LeBron James. Why would he do that? Because the man is addicted to trying to control the narrative.
Stephen A. and LeBron not going out to dinner. Not going out to dinner tonight. Look, Stephen A. is not wrong. Now, I'm a Laker fan, but I am a Jordan guy. I will admit I would give it to Michael Jordan because there's many different things when you talk about the GOAT of something, especially when it comes to basketball. This is why you have so many different opinions, because you have people who think the GOAT is accumulation of stats. If you are a stats guy, you like personal accolades, then LeBron's your guy. He is the all-time point scorer. I'm not totally sure, but I believe has the most playoff wins ever or something like that. I mean, he has all the personal records that you could want. But when I look at GOAT, when I look at best player of all time, I'm thinking about a killer who dominated their decade more than anyone else. And no one did that better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan left to go play baseball for 2 years in the middle and then had a 3-peat on the front end and 3-peat on the back end. Now we got a talk back that maybe we'll play later. A couple of talk backs. Again, get your talk backs in here. Top right corner. What are your thoughts on LeBron's comments about himself? But I judge greatness in the GOAT by did you dominate your era? And Mike dominated. LeBron is an unbelievable player, and you can talk about the longevity, the fact that he's still playing at a high clip. He was the best player in that series against the Houston Rockets when the Lakers took him on in the postseason last year. He's exceptional. He is one of the greatest athletes of all time. But I don't see, like, LeBron has won 4 rings. And I know a lot of people go, oh, look at all the championship appearances. I mean, we can play this game left and right. You could do, people want to go, oh, Jordan didn't have the same level of competition. Really? Reggie Miller, Hakeem Olajuwon, I mean, John Stockton. There's a lot of guys that early on in his career, the tail ends of Bird and Magic. LeBron has had a stiff competition in the West now. You can make the argument. I mean, the East for years, who are the best teams that he had to go through? The Celtics? Like, Brent, what would you say? Who are the best teams he had to go through in the Eastern Conference? The Celtics with Rondo, Pierce, Garnett, and Allen. Those teams were lethal. Would it be Paul George and Lance Stevenson and the Pacers? I mean, but if we think about LeBron's career in the Eastern Conference, who would the toughest competition be? Now, he took care of that Pacers team. The Bulls with D Rose and Boozer in them for a year or two, but D Rose injured himself. I guess you could point to the early Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum teams. That was amazing when LeBron in game 7 went into Boston. I believe he had like 40, 50 points, something like that. But there's so much that goes into this debate. And love to hear from you. 70470. Start your message with team or shoot us a talk back again or call 877-767-4760. I also find it interesting this comes out now. LeBron is in the headlines because he has a big decision to make. I mean, he age 42, probably 1 year left. We keep saying that with LeBron, probably though 1 year left. And LeBron wants to play for a winner. So of the options LeBron James has coming into these playoffs, we were talking about it. It was return to the Lakers, go to Cleveland, go to the Knicks, and go to the Warriors. Now, I think the Knicks, if they win the NBA Finals, that's off. Because if the Knicks win the NBA Finals, what benefit does LeBron going there? Let's say the Knicks won the NBA Finals. And then let's say the Knicks repeated next year with LeBron James. What does that do for LeBron's legacy? Outside of playing in Madison Square Garden, they're going to say, okay, you joined a championship team. The Cavs, it would be the return again, but he's already done that. And that team feels like a mess. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. It's never worked. Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Max Strus, they should be so much better on paper than they are, or on the court than they are, and they're just not. Then it really leaves us with the Lakers and the Warriors, because the Warriors is kind of interesting in that certainly the NBA would love it. I mean, you talk about ratings: Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, LeBron, the kind of retirement tour together. Steve Kerr, it'd be like getting Team USA back together, and it would draw ratings. Now, I don't know if that team wins because I don't know if that team can stay healthy through an entire 82 game season. But on the flip side, I do think that if they were in a playoff series, they would be a tough out. If they were all healthy, which is a major if, it's a massive if, they would be a tough out for a lot of teams. And then it leaves the Lakers, because the Lakers and LeBron are in a weird spot in that the Lakers are like new ownership group in the Walters group, who owns part of the Dodgers, owns the Dodgers. It's like they've been in this transition phase for a long time, where Luka got traded a year and a half ago. The team wasn't equipped to go win because it was dropped in their lap at the trade deadline. They tried to build on the fringes last offseason, acquiring Jake LaRavia, signing him, DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart. And to their credit, most of those signings worked out. Marcus Smart was great. I think Jake LaRavia overall had a good season. Don't get me started on DeAndre Ayton, but I think with the amount of money they had to work with, they made some good signings. Well, now is the first offseason that it's like they're ready to turn the Ferrari over to Luka, the car keys over to Luka, and build this team. And you have massive question marks. Is Reeves coming back? Is LeBron coming back? And does the Lakers timeline match with LeBron James? Because LeBron James doesn't care if the Lakers are good 4 years from now. He cares about if the Lakers are winning a championship next year. We can get into this a little bit more on the other side, plus a little NBA Finals breakdown, as well as UFC, the Freedom 250 card on Sunday. Dana White thinks the ratings might be bigger than a certain event. We're going to play that for you on the other side. Going along, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Padres and Reds are playing game 3 of their series right now down at Petco Park. We are going into the top of the 6th inning, and they're tied at 2 apiece. In NFL news, the Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract. In the reworked deal, it will keep him in Kansas City through 2033 at a value of over $504 million, making it the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million. We got game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight from Madison Square Garden with Spurs and Knicks. That will tip off a little bit after 5:30. Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa, bright, spicy, zesty, impossible to ignore. It brings main character energy to every bite. Not just a sauce, it's a star. Only at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. We were talking about in the last segment about the whole LeBron calling himself the GOAT and that he would take nobody over him. And I guess it's the right mindset to have, because if I was a superstar athlete, I probably would be thinking the same thing. I just don't get why this is coming out now. I don't understand why LeBron, I get he was doing a Time magazine piece, but I don't understand what this does for him outside of having his name in the media, which we played some, Stephen A. Smith talking, and Stephen A. was right about that. LeBron is very good about keeping his name in the national media. I mean, Rich Paul, LeBron's camp is genius in the sense of, if he wants shooters added to the team, or he wants players added to the Lakers roster, anything he wants out there will get out there. It's just never LeBron saying it. It comes through Rich Paul. It comes from his network, all the different kinds of reporting. He's never the one going out on the limb and saying something crazy. LeBron is very good at protecting his image that way. So it's just interesting that we've heard so much of, with the Lakers maybe moving on and looking to kind of hand the keys to Luka. We've heard so much out of the Rich Paul camp of, well, LeBron needs the Lakers to propose him an offer, and no one would take, he wouldn't take anyone over himself. It's like LeBron is pushing a narrative out there, maybe to drive his money up, to drive his legacy up, whatever it may be, but he certainly is. We're asking for your talkbacks, your little red microphone in the top right-hand corner. What are your thoughts on the GOAT debate, LeBron or Jordan? Brent, I believe, what was our first one that we got here?
Oh my goodness. Here we go again, pretending like Michael Jordan only went to the playoffs 6 times in his career. I remember him getting bounced out of the first round time and time again, while LeBron took Anderson Varejao and Iljunas Ilgauskas to the NBA Finals, and somehow we hold that against him. Go watch some basketball, kid.
What happened in they lost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They lost that finals. Look, I appreciate the talk back, but are we giving them credit for losing in the finals? That is the typical LeBron argument. Look what he said. He got to the finals. Well, he also got to the finals, and the point I was making earlier, in the Eastern Conference being weak. So he dominated the Eastern Conference for a decade. Do you think LeBron would have had the same success had he went to the West? And by the way, when Michael got there, he closed. It was 6 for 6. LeBron, outside of coming back down 3-1, you can make the same argument that had Ray Allen not hit that shot against the Spurs in the corner, he would have won that championship. I mean, there's so many what ifs. I'm like, no, he is not the GOAT for taking Kavalauskas and Anders and Varejao to the finals. Brent, we got another one over there.
Let's stop the nonsense. Michael is the GOAT. Period. End of discussion. LeBron barely makes the top 10. If you want the honest truth, I go Michael, Magic, Larry. Those are my top 3.
Okay, LeBron not making the top 10. I can't get with you on that, but I appreciate the sentiment about Michael. I am with you on Michael Jordan. LeBron James is a top 2, top 3 player of all time. I mean, what he has been able to do. I'm not even hating on LeBron. I'm not trying to rip LeBron James. I like LeBron, but the the constant like LeBron fans trying to, in LeBron's social media team and, Clutch Sports, Rich Paul's agency, trying to explain to us why he's so much better. All right, Michael, to Stephen A's point he made earlier, Michael Jordan doesn't come out and say I'm the GOAT. He just let his play do the talking. Kobe, God rest his soul, just let his play do the talking. All these guys just went out there and balled, and yet LeBron, it feels like it's a constant campaign telling us why he should be the GOAT.
But that guy's talk back that said that he lost in the first round time and time again. He only lost in the first round 3 times, 85, 86, and 87. His first 3 years in the league before they had a team built around.
Right, exactly. So when he had a team built around him, and you want to talk about, okay, I mean, now you got me on a tangent. Now you want to talk about, people want to go, he had Scotty. Okay, did Scotty win 2 rings in the middle when when Michael went to go play baseball? No, he didn't. LeBron teamed up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. I'm not trying to rip LeBron. I like LeBron. I just think that this narrative that he constantly puts out there, touting himself, gets excessive, and I think this is why you have a lot of pushback today. All right, so the UFC has a massive main event this weekend. By the way, the Padres out 2-2 at Petco Park. We'll keep you updated on that game, and certainly when it goes final, we'll get you full coverage of that. Dana White said he is expecting bigger numbers for the, what do they call it, Freedom 250 card this weekend than the Super Bowl. Exactly. That's, Brant made a face. You can't see it, but yeah, that's not happening, Dana. That is 1,000%. I mean, you're going to be very disappointed if that's the expectations you're going in with, because there's no shot this thing is coming anywhere close to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl average with Bad Bunny doing the halftime show, I believe it peaked at 130 million, 132, something like that. The game averaged 123, hanging around that. Can you imagine that? The Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots, it was a bad game. Like it was, unless you were a Seahawk or Patriot fan, and probably not if you were a Patriot fan, it wasn't even that entertaining of a game. It was just Seattle kind of dominated. They dominated, but it was never really out of reach until it was. So the UFC thinking that this is going to do Super Bowl numbers is crazy. I'm not getting the whole political aspect of it. I personally don't think there should be a fight on the White House lawn, regardless of who the president is, but that's a whole conversation for another day. In terms of the fights, it's interesting to me that, like, we look at these odds. So you have a lot of stars on the card. You have Topuria and Gaethje, the main event, 2 very big names. Alex Pereira's on the card. You got Bo Nickel. They're trying to make a superstar. Sugar Sean O'Malley, Michael Chandler. There's a lot of big names on this UFC card. The problem is there's not a lot of great matchups. Now, there's going to be fun ways to find betting with this, but outside of Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira in the co-main event, there's not a pick'em fight. Like the main event, Ilia Topuria is over a 7-1 favorite to beat Gaethje. This fight brings a lot to it in that it's certainly an event on the White House lawn. And the fact that he thinks it's going to draw bigger numbers is crazy, because you have a lot of the country who, regardless of who the president is not going to watch it. And then you have UFC is a niche sport and it's violent. So that's going to take some people out that simply just don't like watching it, don't enjoy it, because it is certainly a sport you got to stomach a little bit. But I mean, all these fights seem like, we all know what Dana White's doing. The UFC has done an excellent job over the years of capitalizing on what boxing couldn't. They really need each other, boxing and the UFC, because the UFC has done an amazing job of giving people the fights they want to see and giving competitive fights from young prospects. Boxing, something that has really hurt the sport, is they don't pit young fighters up against good young fighters. They have them fight tomato cans. Everyone since Floyd Mayweather got so concerned with being 50-0. You don't want to lose your O. You cannot have a loss. And it's really hurt the sport, because Manny Pacquiao had 7 losses. Mike Tyson had losses. George Foreman had losses. Muhammad Ali had losses. These guys all fought each other. Sugar Ray Leonard had losses. And when you're fighting and you're constantly in 50-50 fights, you are not going to win every fight. But you give the fans what they want. I would much rather watch a fighter who gets in there versus the best and has a couple losses. In today's world, I'd say Ryan Garcia is like that. Fought Gervonta Tank Davis, fought Devin Haney, won that one, even though it was overturned to a no contest. Fought Rolly Romero, fought a lot of guys. Even though he has a couple losses, people still want to see Ryan Garcia fight versus guys who hand pick and choose opponents that they feel like they have an easy time beating and they can sell and make money on the fights. The UFC's done a great job of just giving us fights we want to see. Now, something UFC could learn from boxing has way more stars in it. Way more stars. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, Tyson Fury, Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford, even though he retired. There's a lot of stars in boxing, whereas the UFC has lacked star power since Conor McGregor. And it's an interesting time for the UFC in that McGregor carried it for a long time. Going back before they got Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. And then recently, over the years, you've had Israel Adesanya has been up there, John Jones, Alex Pereira. And Adesanya's on his way out. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. John Jones rarely fights, is getting up there in his late 30s and wants out of his UFC contract. And even Alex Pereira is like 37, 38 years old. They signed him to an 8-fight deal, but he's getting up there in age because he joined the UFC late. And Sugar Sean O'Malley was kind of supposed to take the role from Conor McGregor as maybe the face of the promotion, but he hasn't really followed up with as many wins. He had that amazing win against Aljamain Sterling, big time knockout, and he didn't do it against lost to Barab a couple times. So this card, when you look at it, like Sugar Sean O'Malley is a 4-1 favorite. Topuria is a 7-1 favorite. Topuria against Gaethje will be a fun fight, and then I think they're both going to stand up, and there won't be a lot of wrestling. So we're going to get a big knockout either way. But this feels like a promotion where on the White House lawn, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs to it, and it's trying to set up a face of the UFC. They're trying to get some big KOs so people can get behind someone. They're kind of pulling it a la boxing where they're hand picking, choosing who is going to fight where. And that hasn't really been the UFC's motto. Maybe we get some great fights, but we'll see. We'll have to tune in. All right, coming up next, we get the crossover. Alan Slewa, John Schaefer. That's coming up next. Going along, standing at Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Sir Will on YouTube says in response to Dana White saying that the UFC Freedom 250 will do bigger numbers in Super Bowl. So I think everyone will still be focused on the World Cup as well. Yeah, he's crazy. Dana White, like, there's no shot you are doing bigger numbers if there was nothing else on TV than the Super Bowl.
It's demolishing Super Bowl numbers.
What are we even? What's this weekend?
This weekend.
Exactly.
It's this weekend.
This weekend.
What is it?
It's the White House fight. They're calling it the Freedom
The
250.
UFC fight
Are
from the White House.
fighting? Oh, it's UFC fight.
Now that would be
amazing if they're like,
entertaining.
Yeah.
Out of the 6th district of South Carolina, right?
I'll watch
Out
that.
Of the 13th
that
of California.
That might get Super Bowl.
Yeah, rating.
Could you imagine we put some big time matchups? Presidential candidates over the years. This is how they settle
for the years.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Listen, it will pull because of the curiosity to see what this thing looks like.
Yeah,
but it ain't pulling.
Who? How do you watch it? Is it like a
Paramount Plus? It's not pay-per-view. It's just Paramount Plus. Which, to that end,
who has Paramount Plus?
This is
I don't even know how to.
He was comparing like the Netflix numbers, like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, but everyone has Netflix. So I think people tune in and go, okay, I'll watch this.
Was Netflix free for that? The specific, I think that fight was free.
The fight was free if you had a subscription. You don't have to pay anything
There was
extra.
nothing extra.
Right.
It was just having Netflix.
Right. It wasn't like a firewall where you had to pay $80, but yeah, it's kind of great. We got the World Cup on this weekend.
Well, Schaefer's got a few different people he uses outside of just like whatever the membership is for Paramount. So just hit Schaefer up. He's got a guy that knows a guy. You meet at a local grocery store parking lot. You pass the password from there.
I got to be honest. I have never been.
No,
I haven't been a UFC guy. I have at times been a boxing guy. Yeah. I have been a boxing guy. UFC to me, and I go all the way back. Alan might as well. Brent may as well. Brent, do you remember the very onset of UFC when it was truly no rules, right? Other than gouging, there was a period of time where it was literally
no weight classes either.
Right, no weight classes and gouging were like the only rules, right?
The first big UFC.
What happened
event,
to those days?
Yeah, what's happened to this country? Thank you, Alan.
What happened to society?
So glad you said that.
All these rules all of a sudden. Isn't this America?
Was Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz a big deal? Was that the first time the UFC?
What, the Reds double play combination? Why are you talking about the Reds now?
Well, the Reds.
I just don't know anything about UFC, but it's not to discredit it. It's so popular.
Right.
But I don't think it reaches. Does it reach the same amount of people? A serious question.
As
other very popular American sports, like Major League Baseball? Like is UFC more popular than baseball?
I think no, because it's a niche sport in that the violence of boxing or UFC is going to turn
some people off.
Immediately.
Okay, more popular UFC or boxing right now?
It's got to be UFC, right?
I'm assuming UFC.
UFC.
Yeah. I'm assuming. By the way, that's
saying something.
Go back 25 years ago.
Yeah,
if you would have said boxing is second to UFC, everybody would say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
They have dominated the last 10 years. UFC. It's starting to flip in the sense of.
I've heard you say this. I think
the UFC with no Conor McGregor, no Israel Adesanya, and some of their big stars have all aged out. Whereas boxing doesn't always get the fights we want, but like they have recognizable names. Canelo Alvarez is a recognizable name. Right. Tyson Fury, like people know who that is. But
and you've also said, hasn't boxing kind of leaned into that like celebrity angle? Like
some
they've tried to get the wide appeal. I mean, I don't like it.
No,
like
it's become gimmicky.
Yeah, it's gimmicky. It's gimmicky.
Where I still think UFC has. I'll find myself randomly, like I'll watch, it will come, but I'm not even watching anything today. I'll see like a Nate Diaz fight versus whatever.
Yeah.
I'll watch old stuff.
Yeah.
Because maybe I know who those fighters are. I don't know if that's the attraction, but yeah, boxing has become gimmicky. That's the last thing you want to. The last thing you want to be if you're a real sport is you become gimmicky. And you got whether it's Paul or it's Tyson or it's
completely agree.
Didn't it kind of start?
Mayweather and Pacquiao fighting again.
Mayweather
no
and
one wants to see that.
It would be like if Major League Baseball, to your point, a popular American sport, all of a sudden, like, well, we see the popularity now of the Savannah Bananas. Let's add in 3 of their rules. If a ball is caught by a fan, it's an out. Like you can't do that. I mean,
and to the point,
it's good comp.
It's like individual sports are so weird in that the Oklahoma City Thunder, they became popular because they just won games. You end up playing in big games. Major League Baseball, if you win enough, you're going to be playing in big games. Whereas just because you're a great fighter,
It doesn't mean you're in a big fight.
or doesn't mean that you're appealing to the masses. You may be a great fighter, but you may be boring to watch, and that doesn't equate to eyeballs. Like, just if the Padres go on and keep, not keep winning, if they win and got to the playoffs, people are going to know who the San Diego Padres are and their stars because they kept winning throughout, and they're going to be on the biggest stage. Whereas like UFC
They
and
made
boxing,
their popularity.
right?
Are there tickets for is this a ticketed event?
Yeah, it is.
Is it a large
It is,
gathering?
isn't
Like
it?
how they what's it
No,
gonna
it's
look
like it's like 3,000. I
Wow,
believe it's all
that's
military.
small. Wow.
Wait. Wasn't the original plan? I
To
thought
go
the
bigger
original
than that?
plan that this thing was gonna. I thought it was gonna be huge. Like
But
a
I
huge
saw
event.
the setup didn't look huge.
It's only 3,000 because it's on the lawn. It's like
I wonder
think
if that was always the plan or not.
in the other part about this that could really be crazy is if outdoor fights over the years, weather can play a factor.
Oh,
in this.
absolutely. Summertime in DC, it can rain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's limited to 4,300 people.
Yes, that's
4,000
That's not much.
Right. That's not.
Are they going to have other? Wasn't there speculation or discussion of them having more fights there, like leaving this as a permanent structure?
Really?
There is a promotion giving away approximately 85,000 free tickets for fans to watch on large screens across the street.
Oh, okay, so you could watch like in Washington D.C.
So like a watch,
outside,
like the
yeah.
Knicks, like a
Yeah,
watch
that's
party.
cool. Like the Knicks.
I don't think it's drawing as much.
When's the next NBA? When's the 5th game in the NBA
Saturday.
Yep.
We got the World Cup tomorrow.
It's a must win.
Yeah, it was originally envisioned for an in-person crowd of 20 to 25,000, and now it's capping
Now
off
it's
at
3,000 or
roughly the
4,000,
4.
yeah. By the way, though, I'm being serious. When Mexico plays at home against South Africa tomorrow at Azteca, you have to win the match.
Wait, hold on.
Right?
I totally
Whole
forgot.
nation.
I buried the lead. I was
Yeah, you
listening
have
to you guys drive around yesterday. Wait, what? You're going to Mexico?
Yeah, we're going to Mexico.
We're going to Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico.
Yeah, next weekend.
World Cup game.
For who's playing?
Japan.
Of course.
Why?
Japan and Tunisia.
And Tunisia. I'm going for Tunisia. He's
Yeah,
connected
I'm
to
gonna
Japan.
Are we? What
are the
this
distance?
trip?
Like, I'm confused what you're confused about.
here's the
What
thing.
I'm
else?
confused. I'm confused.
I wanted the World Cup experience. I don't want to go to Inglewood and spend $4,000 to watch some.
But it
match.
would be America.
Well,
Playing.
no, I understand that Inglewood is in America.
No, I'm saying America is playing in Inglewood on
Yeah,
Friday.
but I mean,
Yeah, we're
you
trying to watch good soccer.
Do you really seriously to spend $4,000 to watch the U.S. soccer team when you can go to Monterrey, Mexico, and watch Team
Go to
Japan
Monterrey,
for
bro.
$300? Yeah, we're going to
Whose ideas? Who started this?
Yeah, that was me.
You said let's take a trip down there.
Yeah.
You guys got where you're staying.
I don't
Yeah,
even know.
You got
I
a whole
think,
trip planned out.
yeah, the
Yeah,
whole trip's already
everything's
planned.
planned.
Everything's already paid for.
Yeah. We
John
got
took care of
flights.
everything.
Now, is it going to all work? Is it going to be executed properly?
Probably
we'll
not.
find out. We'll find
Which
out.
will be part of the
Tunisia?
experience.
I
Sammy,
better.
get down there. Get down there.
Am I invited?
Sure.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I
You're more
coming
than
with the
that.
boys to Mexico?
Yeah, let's go, man. We can spend
It
the
is.
whole tournament down
Let's
there.
not lie here. It is very random what we're doing.
It's very random.
It's one of the most
I
random
thought it was
things.
a joke when
I
you guys
told,
said it yesterday.
I told a
No.
buddy of mine, I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the World Cup. He's like, okay.
Say, why?
I'm like, no, but I'm going to Mexico in Monterrey. He's like, who's playing? I'm like, Japan, Tunisia.
Well, you got to
He
watch
was-
out for that Tunisia backline.
He was
Unreal.
more and more confused every time.
I think it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's
I
gonna
think
be
it's gonna be great. What we got coming up on the show today?
Japan, Tunisia talk. Kevin AC at 5:30. We're talking about the Bill Walton Classic with Mark Neville.
Okay.
Sports San Diego
If
at
these
3:15.
dudes win, or if they lose today, brother,
Yeah,
I got nothing left.
full
That's
reaction
it. You're
about
doing
the
the show by
Padres
yourself.
after they're done. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. See you guys then.